Whoops. As they used to say back in the good old day, howdy. Podcasting and streaming around the globe. It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, Randy Weldon, Mustang Clubs of America across the globe. And we're going to talk to him about spending the summertime at car shows in the heat.
Whether you need to or not.
Jeff has a special report about vehicles headed out the door and won't be coming back to the new car lots. It's all just ahead on this segment of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Chief Engineer David Ainsley is getting ready for next week's big trip up to North Texas.
Big.
And Granbury, where we'll be doing a remote broadcast. We'll talk about that later on. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're back in the Sugar Shack studios today.
Not for long.
No. We moved all the equipment from the In-Wheel Time machine into the studio this morning at 6 o'clock. Got it all set up again to do this 3-hour live broadcast, to move it all back into the truck again to head up north next weekend.
Yep.
So
that's it. Okay,
yeah,
show's over.
That's it. Lone Star Street Rod Association. Somebody was asking me about it, and I said, it's really a cool show. Mm-hmm. It's very unique in the fact that you're going to see cars from all over, really. A lot, all over the United States do this. A lot of North Texas hot rods, a lot of hot rods from Oklahoma, New Mexico. There are a bunch of folks up in that part of the world that really, this is their big event once a year, and they all motor in, so to speak, for a big weekend up there at the city park right there on the lake and on the main drag. So if you find yourself up in North Texas, it's only about, 45 minutes south of Fort Worth?
Well, I don't know about that.
I was told it was a little bit further, but it's not
like
like
half
an hour,
40
hour
minutes.
and a half.
Yeah, no, I think it's
an hour
closer
at the most.
than that.
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
Yeah, because we're going to have
That's right.
Tom's sister or wife. We're not exactly sure what, but we're going to have Tammy Dooley on the show with us. You know, hang down your head, Tom.
Yeah. You're kind of beating that horse.
Well, I know that, but I think that it's fun.
He just thinks he just gets tickled.
He just gets to sing, that's all.
I get giddy. Randy Weldon, ladies and gentlemen, is with us this morning. Randy, good morning to you.
Good morning, y'all. How are you?
Well, we're doing great. I see that you're sitting on the back patio here. It's well lit.
Yeah.
The beautiful forest right behind you there. You live in large, my friend.
It's that's a street I was hanging out outside a brewery at. So, but thank you for the garden part of that.
That's why it's at night. Oh.
I will say it was a garden party.
Was it really?
Oh, there you go.
Was it the Ricky Nelson song, Garden Party?
No, they had the Fab Five there.
The
Fab Five is good, yeah.
We love the Fab Five.
Follow the Fab Five.
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, those guys are great.
They are. And if you've not seen the Fab Five, that would be something for you to do.
Yeah.
And you can go to their website. You can go see them on Facebook, and it's got all their dates coming up. I think they're working this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
They are somewhere tonight. I can't remember where, but they're out there tonight.
They're everywhere.
So if you want to get a Beatles or 60s throwback
tribute.
Yeah, great tribute band. Randy Weldon, Mr.
Yes,
Ford. And it's funny, before we get to what I wanted to talk about, is that I have had two Mustangs here in the past 6 weeks or so. I had the new Mustang Dark Horse. And that thing, have you been in one of those?
I have not.
Wow.
I've seen them.
It's a race car.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and there's no putting any mustard on that at all. It is a race car. It is meant for tracking on a road course. Period. That's it. Tons of horsepower, 6-speed manual transmission, and if you're looking to ride around Houston streets, it's going to beat you to death because it's stiff. But that's what a race car does. This is a race car from the factory. Now, if you're not into all that, I just got out of a Ford Mustang GT convertible. Holy
how'd you like that?
Oh, my God. What a nice car. And you know me, I'm a Corvette guy, okay?
Yes, sir.
But I will tell you, I was thoroughly impressed. A solid built car, all the amenities, V8 engine, automatic transmission. Turn the knob, hit the button, and the top goes down. There's no fiddling around with the boot on the back of it. None of that stuff. Wow, what a nice car. Holy cow. Yeah, really is.
Yeah, they started building them right.
Yeah, and the big screen up on the dash that includes, the instrument panel and the infotainment system. It is really, really nice. And if you haven't been in one, do it. Have you been in one?
Just do it.
I've been in an S550 version of the Shelby, but not the latest version. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's something for you. We
will
always
say we were out last week.
We always try to bring a lot to the table when you're on.
Well, if it's Mustang related, I love hearing about it.
I know you do. But
actually, if it's car related, I love hearing about it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So, what were you going to say last weekend? What?
Car shows.
We were up at Ozark International Raceway with an MCA national show, but that was held at the track. So we had the dark horses out there. We had the Shelbys out there. You name it. People brought it from all over the country.
How cool! How many cars all there?
I believe there were about 177 cars in the car show part of it. I'm not sure how many on the track. I know the track was busy nonstop. And, of course, we were up there doing the music and the announcing and stuff. So I got to watch the cars on track as they went by, and the car show, which was right in front of us.
I would have liked to seen you in the passenger seat at least, screaming like a little girl going around that track.
I'd love to have gotten in the car. I'm that guy that you can't go fast enough.
Yeah. Well, I think that speaks volumes for all of us, really. If you're a car guy, in the right circumstances, let's go fast.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. So the driver looks over and says, "Hey, are you okay?" And you're like, "Faster."
Either that or let me out of here now. There's that. Yeah. So we want to talk to you today because you go to lots and lots and lots of outdoor car shows, lots of cruise-ins, but also big events that happen, obviously, outdoors. Now, we all know what summer brings here to the Houston, Texas area. And come August, we're looking at, 110-degree days. And there aren't too many, but there are still some cruise-ins. Most of them happen in the morning, but there are also some outdoor car shows that happen during the summertime. So tips on attending summer car shows in our heat. And I know you've been to enough of them. You got your own set of rules.
Well, we try to accommodate people and plan ahead and think of things that could happen. And if you're going to put on a car show, that's just part of it. You should be thinking of that. I think the first thing is if you're going to get a venue during the summer heat in this area, you're going to want one that has some sort of shade. You've got to make sure it's got shade around it.
And you know what? If they don't have it, it's cheap. Go to Academy and buy you one of them pop-ups.
Get a pop-up. Make sure that people are bringing pop-ups or you're telling them to bring pop-ups. The very first show that I ever planned was at Conroe West Baptist Church. And beautiful layout. It's got a kind of a stair-step type parking lot. But there are no trees. Let me back up. There was a tree, but in the afternoon sun at the end of July, we had 140 some people trying to get underneath that tree.
Oh yeah.
During awards, and of course the speakers were set up so they were pointing the wrong way from the awards, and it was that part was a mess. The heat and humidity was up. We had somebody that brought out some air conditioning porta potties. Those were popular, but they also would overflow, and they'd have to, come get them and bring other ones back out.
And then you're back to using the tree. Yeah.
You're back. Yeah, that's right. You're hiding behind people using the tree, Jeff. That's right.
Yeah.
But you've got to think about shade before you even plan an event. Then beyond that, make sure you've got lots of water. Obviously, last week in Ozark International Raceway, we were constantly running for cases of water. But beyond the water, plenty of ice. And they've now got these things that you wrap around your neck. You put them in the freezer overnight, wrap around your neck, and those are very helpful.
Yep.
And something I like to tell people to think about, even though it's expensive, is get a defibrillator. And that goes really for any car show or outdoor event that you're doing. These things nowadays are automated. You can, if somebody has a heart attack or some sort of an event like that, it will not administer a shock unless they need it. But it analyzes you first, and then either will or won't administer a shock for you.
Yeah.
But those are things you need to plan for. In addition to that, you need to find out what medical personnel you have that are attending and make sure that if something happens, you've got access to those people. And also, it's always good to know how far away your ambulances or your hospitals and stuff like that are, emergency clinics or whatever. These are all things that you really need to be looking for, especially when you're out there in the middle of the summer heat in Texas or Florida or anywhere along the coast where the humidity just goes insane on you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great information, and depending on the size of the event and obviously the affordability of it, chances are you could probably find not necessarily the city ambulance, but you could find an ambulance company that has that on board, hire them during the event to sit there, and feed them, water them, do whatever you got to do, but have somebody on board with you if you're going to have a big event in some parking lot or something.
Well, to get a defibrillator out there, a lot of facilities, commercial facilities now have them, but ask first if they've got them. Ambulances certainly carry them, but knowing how far away those people are, those emergency people, that's really important. When you're talking, like you said, 110 degrees in the heat. First of all, every minute counts to begin with, but that heat just amplifies everything.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say part of that problem is that if you're out there in that heat, it comes your body starts deteriorating because of the heat slowly, and sometimes you get a little disoriented before you even realize what's going on, and by that time it's too late for you to actually try and do something for yourself. So you got to have somebody be able to step in and take care of it.
Well, and also not just having a parking lot where you can put 150 cars in. If you have an event where you can actually go indoors to cool off for the
True.
people attending, not necessarily in a mall, but something, maybe restaurants in the area that they can go and get cooled off, or maybe get a bite to eat. Not just there's a parking lot, we're going to fill it up with cars.
Right.
That's really not a car show.
Hot.
That's something I neglected to mention too. At one of our shows we did in June a year ago, Vernon Wilhelm, the president of Northside Mustang, went and rented a portable air conditioner from Home Depot. We put up a pop-up, put sidewalls on it, and people could go in there and cool off
just
a little
an
bit
escape
out
area,
on the
yeah.
parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, these are things
works
that
as well.
for everyday Joe Blow that doesn't really go outside. They got a yard man. They don't work in the heat. It can be a wake-up call, especially if you start feeling lightheaded and you're going, I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, guess what? You're about to have a heat stroke is what you're about to have.
Well,
So,
exactly.
Right.
yeah. And,
Right. You start feeling funny, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Mike said, you get disoriented.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised at how well you know me, and you started describing me there about the guy that never goes outside, has a yard guy. I fit all that.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's certainly not a put down. I think that there are a lot of us, especially that listen to this show, that have inside jobs, work in the air conditioning. We have access to water and all of that sort of stuff. And it's not until even going to the beach is different than going for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the beach is different than having a car show, unless you have a car show at the beach. I don't know if that would work, but
because generally speaking, you do have that little bit of an ocean breeze. Just from between the climate changes, there's generally a little bit of air movement there.
yeah.
And
As
that,
opposed to like it is here in Houston right now, there is no breeze whatsoever.
no, your hair doesn't even move.
That's right. It's dead calm.
Neither one of them, Jeff.
I know, and I just got them cut.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that those are all good points, Randy, that need to be made, especially for organizers. If you're not, for instance, tomorrow we have Chrome and Coffee. It's the first Sunday of every month, and it's from 9 to noon. Well, you get there close to noon, it's getting really hot. But there is a restaurant there that has air conditioning, food, water, etc., that you can go into. And I think that all of us that attend that on a monthly basis, we do that. We go there and get our coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning, walk around, and everything's all fine, well, and good. But as the day progresses and you're still outside, you really don't know, because it's a slow roll with the heat. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and, it can really cause some damage.
And that's another thing that we hadn't really touched on, but food. you get out in the heat. Sometimes you don't eat because you're hot. I don't want to eat. I don't, blah, blah. But that not eating also compounds it because you get a little bit weaker. Your sugar levels change. So it kind of, you got to at least have a few snacks.
Now, you remember this next week when we're out in the heat. It's up to you once again.
David always has snacks.
David, for
David is a
David,
snack.
not for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the charge is on you. We need snacks, water, shade, air conditioning. We need all that.
The
Back
shade.
rub, foot massage, a jacuzzi.
Those are coming later. That's the hotel.
Randy's bringing that.
Oh yeah, I'll bring all that. There's a reason David's off camera. That's why he has the snacks over there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we
He's
took
taunting you guys, not sharing.
we took care of all that last weekend thanks to Stan Holt, Loopy Tortilla. After the big shoe, we went inside and had a great lunch. Thank you, Stan. Thanks, Loopy Tortilla.
Some lunch.
Thanks,
Chase. Yeah,
Chase
Chase was-
Murray. Yep. And so it was all good. I think planning is the key, really.
Planning is the key, and you should start planning for a show at least 4 months in advance.
Well, yeah, especially if you're going to be the proprietor of the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot to pull together. Yeah, one of the big things there is getting enough volunteers. These shows don't happen without volunteers, but making sure you've got those people lined up for traffic and parking and, who's going to take the money, who's going to register people.
If you got any
there's a lot to
judging,
it.
all that stuff. Because one or two people can't do it.
No.
And then you got to get
No,
your
you
trophies
can't.
ordered and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, it's great to
Trophy
talk
shirts.
to you, and it's so great to see you, my friend.
You're looking
Hey,
good.
nice to see you guys. Thank you. You guys are looking great. I'll be out at TWCC in the morning from about 6 o'clock until I think we finish up now about 10 before the heat. Or before
And
some of
tell
the heat.
everybody what TWCC is.
It's the Woodlands Coffee and Cars for a Cause. So
I've got it on the
100%
list.
Of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go to charity. But when you guys are out at, is it Croman Coffee?
Yeah.
When you're out there, there's a gentleman there by the name of Roger Lyle.
Oh, yeah, we know Roger, sure.
You know Roger? Well, he actually lives next door to one of the guys that's in the Fab Five band.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
Oh, yes,
good.
sir.
All right. Well,
Yeah, we follow him on Facebook.
absolutely. Randy,
Well, say hello to Roger for me if you guys would.
we certainly
Will
will.
do.
Randy, thanks again, my friend. Take care of yourself. Stay cool.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
All right. The In Real Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. And Mars, you were supposed to tell me something about that, but you didn't do that. And
What was it?
No, he said during a break he was going to go check the
no, this is
gizmo.
something. This is something completely now for something completely different.
Now for something.
Just look for In Real Time Car Talk anywhere, everywhere. A new daily podcast is available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Loopy Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Or if you want to send us something private and personal,
Oh, boy.
send it to mars@inwheeltime.com or jeff@inwheeltime.com.
Oh, boy. Not again.
He gave me the side eye on that.
Side eye.
All right, Inside Jeff's Mind. And I titled it, Close the Door, We Ain't Making It Anymore.
Oh, boy. Here you go. Well, these are vehicles that are no longer going to be made by different manufacturers, and we kind of all know what they're going to be happening, but there's 30 of them out there. I picked 8 because of time, but the first one, the one that stands out the most that we just got back, would be the Chevrolet Camaro. GM is ending production of the Chevrolet Camaro after 2024, and it's sending it off with a collector's edition. Oh boy, who wants one? Yeah. And the rumor is it's coming back as an EV.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
Good luck on that.
Yeah.
Sell lots of those.
Yeah, been another 10 years. The next one we have on board is the Dodge Durango. The three-row Durango is slated to be replaced by the Stealth nameplate after 2024. The Durango name would come back later, according to rumors, on a body-on-frame SUV based on the Jeep Wagoneer's platform. So it will be back somewhere down the line, a little redesign and a little bit different platform. Jeep Cherokee, back to the Jeep nonsense here. Yes, the long-lived Jeep Cherokee nameplate hits the trail. In fact, production already ended earlier this year, in case you haven't noticed. The larger Grand Cherokee sticks around, so that's going to be the bigger model. Will still be there in case you want to get into one of those.
Wasn't that a Paul Revere and the Raiders song?
Jeep
Cherokee Nation?
Cherokee Nation.
No,
Yeah.
I thought that was Cher.
No,
Anyways,
that wasn't Cher.
well, contact Mike if you know.
I think Cher redid it.
There you go.
Don would know that.
Ram 1500 TRX. Ram is concluding production of the hefty TRX with a final edition. Ram will bring an off-road capable 1500 RHO in 2025.
RHO.
Yeah, it's. I know what that stands for. I just lost my train of thought. But
Ram
it's-
High Output.
No, it's something totally different.
Roto-Rooter High Output.
We'll look it up. And then the automaker insists that it's not a replacement for the more powerful TRX, but stay tuned. It could be. You never know. They do kind of fib every now and then. Ford Edge is another one. The mid-size Ford Edge probably won't survive after this year, due in part to, get this, labor disputes in the automaker's Oakville assembly plant in Canada.
Labor disputes.
Remember when all the contracts and stuff were
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, and everybody, we're
Yeah.
shutting down and we're going to strike and all that? Because of that, this brand is going away. Blue Oval's ongoing transition into the EVs maybe later on for this model. But because of the Canadian
Because
strike,
you've raised such a big stink, we're just going to close down
we're
the
just
factory.
going to shut her down.
Yeah, shut her down.
The next Ford is the Transit Connect. Ford's smallest work van, the Transit Connect, won't survive through 2024 model year. The company did have a new version of the Transit planned using the Mavericks platform. Check that out. But those plans have reportedly been scrapped also. So I kind of like the little van. I think it's cute. I could,
I think around town,
Yeah.
like a.
Did the engine blow up in it, too?
No, I don't know, but it could use that. You could call some music equipment in it, some gear, all that good stuff. So,
Yeah.
The next one on the list,
You can put a couple of lawn chairs back there and put some shag carpet
there
in it
you
and
go.
have your
That's
own
this is what I'm talking
styling
about.
wagon
Yeah, there you go. Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe. Who would have thunk this? The C-Class convertible won't be the only discontinued version of the compact luxury car.
Wow.
Mercedes also plans to kill off the C-Class Coupe at the same
They
time.
only make a bajillion models.
I know.
What's two?
Leaving only the sedan in the lineup for the foreseeable future. So the convertible and the coupe are going away. It's the same platform. They just cut the roof off. The last one, it is a Ford Escape, newly refreshed for 23 model. Ford's popular Escape compact SUV is reportedly taking its leave in 2025 in
Taking
order to
what?
usher in, taking its leave, going on leave.
Okay, taking a leave.
Taking a leave,
All
not
right.
the pill. But what's it going to be?
I was going to call it something else.
Mike
but
knows.
Go ahead.
It's going to be an EV later on when they bring it back.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
You just go for that.
There it is. I just dropped my paper. There it's gone.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it
he's
is.
through with
all
it.
right.
Yeah, you're done with it anyway. You don't need it anymore. There it is. I got it for you. All right. I did have a little feature for you. Speaking of discontinuations, midsize sedan was once the quintessential family car in one of the most competitive segments in the United States. Not today. The story from Automotive News. When the nation's number 3 selling midsize sedan, the Chevy Malibu, ends production this year, and the Subaru Legacy is discontinued after the 2025 model, there will be just 5 mainstream midsize sedans available in the U.S., all Asian imports.
That Subaru was on my list. I just didn't put it on.
Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Nissan Altima, Kia K5, and Hyundai Sonata. Those will be all of your midsize sedan choices. Toyota, which is struck with a widely diversified product portfolio while others exited car segments, say its top-selling Camry is not going anywhere. Dave Christ. I guess, is it that or Christ? C-H-R-I-S-T.
Chris, yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Head of the Toyota brand in North America recently told Automotive News, we still believe that it's worth investing in passenger cars, and we're going to stay committed to it so I can keep my job. Automotive News Research and Data Center has tracked U.S. sales of every midsize sedan nameplate since 2009. As recently as 2012, midsize sedans commanded 16.7% of the U.S. market. In 2023, shares fell to 5.7%.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's just a small slice of the industry's long history. Data does yield some clues. What happened? The Great Recession. That's one of them. The crossover is today's family car. Consolidation of product portfolios. Wait a minute, we're making 100,000 cars every day. Let's kind of cut that back because the lots are full at the dealerships.
Not selling them.
And product planning, resources, and capital investments diverted to electrification in crossovers and luxury segments. How's that working out for you? There's that. Okay. That was a little something, a little meat on the bone.
A little ditty.
A little ditty for you. Hey, today's In Real Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Also, Gulf Coast Auto Shield and Pro-Am Auto Accessories, and we thank all of them. We will continue here on the In Real Time Car Talk Show right after this quick break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Real Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Real Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or
You've got the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show today coming to you from Home Sweet Home, the Sugar Shack Studios just outside Houston, Texas. Coming up, we talk to Dr. Sheldon Jacobson about the U.S. strategic oil supply.
All right.
And among other things. Jeff has the cruise-in calendar, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin. You don't want to know who I am.
No, we don't.
So we just won't even say the name.
No.
Say the name, say my name.
Okay.
Isn't that a Beyonce thing? Say my name? You would know, Jeff.
I don't know that one.
Okay, well, great. All right, so let's get to our guest this hour. His name is Sheldon Jacobson.
Good morning.
PhD, founder, professor of computer science, director, Sim and Opt Lab, and we'll find out what all that is. Director of Bedtime Research Institute. Hey, there we go. Department of Computer Science, University of Illinois, Urbana, Illinois. Dr. Jacobson, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Wonderful to be with you this morning.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us this morning. We feel honored. And I like, so tell me, the Sim and Opt Lab. What is the Opt Lab?
Sure. Simulation and Optimization Laboratory. We develop models using simulation technology and optimization algorithms to basically solve real problems.
Oh my God.
I knew that.
I knew that.
I knew
He's
that.
way smarter than we are. That's for darn sure.
All right, now spell it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the nation's Strategic Petroleum Reserve. When did that come about? Early 70s, mid 70s?
In the mid-1970s, exactly. It was created because there was an oil crisis, if you recall. Back
Oh, we recall very well,
yeah,
yes.
And as a result of that, the government put forward a strategic petroleum reserve so that if there were any kind of bumps in the road, so to speak, in terms of oil production or access to oil, then they would have a reserve available. So they created the capacity of close to 750 million gallons, around 720 million gallons, and they filled it, and it's been there for almost 50 years, although its level kind of rises and falls over time. So, but it is available anytime there is a crisis that a president deems necessary to release oil so that people can drive their cars and fly in airplanes and so forth.
Now, isn't the reserve, it's if memory serves me correctly, it's a natural place in Louisiana, is that right?
There are actually 4 locations. 2 are in Louisiana and 2 are in Texas, so not too far from you, actually. They're on the Gulf Coast, basically. And what it does is it gives access to the people who are doing drilling and refineries so that they can get gasoline into the hands of the consumers so that there's no shortages. People are really concerned about spikes in price, of course.
Yeah.
Anytime there's an incident 2,000, 5,000 miles away, people take advantage of it and raise the price. Even though there's no need to raise the price, the psychology of a potential shortage means that you'll pay 50 cents more per gallon, literally instantly, even if it doesn't cost the producers that much. So the strategic petroleum stockpile is really there to buffer those kinds of short-term fluctuations.
See, I always thought of it as an actual product, but it's really not. It's more of a psychological thing.
Well, it is a product because when you have hundreds of millions of gallons or barrels of gasoline or fuel that is available, it is a product. But once again, the consumer, Americans, think with their heads and respond emotionally. And what this tries to do is temper that emotional overreaction so that hopefully when you go to the pump, you're not going to be paying that extra 50 cents or $1 per gallon, even when there's no need to, because there's plenty of oil.
Yeah. And where do we get most of our oil from today? Because I know for a while there, when we had a different administration, I think that we were producing a lot of oil in the United States.
Domestically, yeah.
And we still are. The majority of the oil that we use is domestic, and fracking has been a big part of that, obviously. We, in fact, produce more domestically than we import. Of course, Canada is always a very large importer of oil for us. They bring in a lot for us. So as a result, our oil supply is fairly stable. However, the Middle East, Europe, what's going on in Russia with Ukraine, what's going on in the Middle East right now, there's always the potential that something will change. And the Strategic Petroleum Reserve gives us a little bit of an insurance policy to protect against that.
So I understand that our current president has been selling off some of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Yes, he has. In fact, a number of presidents have done that. And both Republican and Democrats, to be fair to both sides. At the same time, though, more of the Democrats have done selling than the Republicans, although President Trump in his time did sell, and he tried to replenish it in his final year, didn't quite work out. So we have around one half of the capacity right now, around 360, 370 million barrels right now in the stockpile. The capacity is around 720, 730.
Is that something for us that we should be worried about?
Worry is probably too strong a word. It's a question of how much insurance do you want to have? That's really the question. Think of it just as an insurance policy. If you don't use it, you've lost the premium. And the premium is the cost of maintaining it. Oil prices now are around $80 per barrel. They were at peaks well over 100 not that long ago. They've been at lows in the $30 and $40 range. You want to replenish it when the prices are low. You want to buy low, obviously, and sell high if you have to.
So that would be the United States government is actually footing the bill for this. So when we sell off some of it, they get some of their money back. I would assume that it would be at the current price or current rate that oil is selling for.
Rather than what you bought it.
When they sell it to one of the companies who's going to then refine it, they will sell it at the current rate with a slight premium based on the cost of the transmission of it and so forth. So it's a very complex process, but the bottom line is it's available in case we have a major crisis so that people can get in their cars and fill up with gasoline, because that's the last thing that we want as people.
So who is it that makes the decision that, okay, well, we need some money or we don't need this much oil, we need the money, we don't need this much oil, we're going to sell some of it off? Who is it that makes that decision in the government?
Well, ultimately, it comes down to the current administration. They have the power and authority to make these kinds of decisions, and they will continue to do that. It's a small decision in the grand scheme, unless we had a major world conflict that would shut down the oil fields in the Middle East, and there would be a strain even in our own production. Cyber attacks. We forget about the fact that cyber attacks can bring down the oil companies and their production facilities in terms of using the technology to keep it running. There's so many risks and threats out there. Having the Strategic Petroleum Reserve available is just one of those little things that helps the country feel a little safer energy-wise.
So is that part of the Department of Transportation, or is that Weights and Measures? Because there's two different departments there.
Well, everybody is going to advise on the process. Ultimately, the administration makes the decision. I mean, you also have the Department of Energy involved. Yeah. Everybody is involved. This is not just a single person making these decisions.
Gotcha.
Ultimately, the consumers are the people that need to be served. And let's never forget that. We elect our elected officials to serve us, the people. Sometimes they seem to forget that. But at the end of the day, having that oil available will ensure a continuous, non-interrupted stream of fuel for people to drive their cars and do all the other things they do with oil today.
Well, the fracking that you're talking about, I know that it has revitalized West Texas, the Permian Basin oil field out there, and I guess that's pretty much nationwide wherever there's a sack of oil underneath the ground, and they've already sucked out all of the liquid.
Sack of oil.
now they're going down there and blowing off some little charges and releasing more oil underneath the ground. And do we see an end to that? I mean, is that going to continue now till eternity, till we're dead?
Well, there's a limited amount of reserve. I mean, we have tens of billions of barrels of oil of reserve just in the United States. And the challenge is, how do you get it out? And once you've introduced fracking was a game changer when it came to oil in this country.
Right.
And some people don't like it. It disrupts the geological structures in the earth. But the reality is, when it comes to petroleum and oil, fracking made a big, big difference and stabilized our energy situation more than I think people realize. So the fact is, it does a lot of good things economically, certainly for your area in Texas, but it also has done tremendous things to stabilize our energy portfolio in the United States. It's going to continue because it has to, basically.
And let's talk for just a minute about the pipeline that was in the process of being built between Canada and the southern United States, where the refineries are, and that was put on hold with the current administration. Has that really affected the oil reserve or the opportunity to pump more oil to keep the domestic continental United States, northern continents, really producing oil? What's the effect of that?
Well, right now, we still have plenty of oil available. We're in a relatively stable situation when it comes to energy in our country. So as a result of that, anytime you have a new administration, they're going to have new policies and new ideas, and we're going to be coming to that within the next year. As we have an election coming up, what will change is certainly unclear. I don't have a crystal ball. I can look into it and see who's going to win. However,
yes, continue,
it
please.
really does come down to risk mitigation. And as much as we like to believe that we can rely in our society without oil, oil drives energy and power. And we have to continue to consider it, at least in the foreseeable future. Maybe 200 years down the line, it will be different. It's not going to be different in the short term.
All right, let's talk about gasoline prices. And how does the price of oil affect the refined product called gasoline?
Absolutely. Everything does. Whatever a barrel costs, a certain fraction of it will become gasoline in a tank of an automobile or an SUV. That is the reality. And if the barrel of oil is more expensive, then the gasoline is more expensive. There's other issues that come into play in terms of refining, markups, and so forth. Taxes, state taxes are another issue. And then the introduction of electronic vehicles as well as hybrids means that people are using less fuel and traveling the same distances. It's creating budget conflicts within states who are trying to recoup their transportation costs for their highways and their roads purely from a gasoline tax. But if an automobile is using less gasoline, they're not getting the tax revenue. This is a complex issue you brought up right now, and there are different things on the table in terms of some kind of mileage level tax, or Virginia has a tax based on a vehicle you own, just plain and simple. So every state's a little different.
I believe that Texas has a set figure. If you own an electric vehicle, when it comes time to register your car, up the registration on the car, I think there's like a $200 fee
$200.
to try to recoup that cost. Is that the general way that the states are making back their money?
Every state operates so independently, but that is one model that certainly would work. If you do it based on consumption of fuel, you're going to be in a downward trend for quite some time. So this is the reality we have to react to it. Someone has to pay for the roads, ultimately. And it means us, or whether it's going to be through a gas tax or a vehicle ownership tax, someone has to pay for that.
What do you see happening in the immediate future? Let's just say till the end of the year, things are going to stabilize and be the way that they are until the elections are over with? Do you see any big upsets outside of the Middle East conflict and conflicts around the world? Ukraine, you mentioned as well. Are there going to be any upsets as long as things stay the way that they are today?
Well, in terms of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, they've started to add more fuel to it, more barrels of oil to it, simply because they realize it's gotten to a level that maybe isn't quite strategically appropriate. So I think it's going to continue to rise. But we're also buying it at around $80 per barrel right now. It's not cheap. It's expensive, relatively speaking, where the average cost of the oil in the reserve is on the order of $30. So you really are buying near a potential top. But you can't avoid, when you're talking about oil and energy, you can't avoid talking about world conflicts. And the Russian-Ukraine situation is not going away. The Middle East situation is probably going to get worse before it gets better. And you just don't know how the players are going to react. And we have a country right now where we have, two people running for president that are both have real major issues in their lives. How is that going to all play out? And no crystal ball here, but all I can say is these are the facts and we have to deal with them.
Well, I noticed that all of the major oil refiners, the guys that make the gasoline, they seem to be diversifying, and I say that because there is a soccer stadium here in town that went from one sponsorship to another, and the new sponsorship is now Shell Energy. So it's not Shell Oil Company or Shell Gasoline, it's Shell Energy. So I think that their marketing department is repositioning themselves to diversify what we think of as Shell as the gasoline company and kind of divvying it up, so to speak. Do you think that that's going to continue?
Well, branding is so important. And we saw this, over the last 50 years when fried foods became socially unacceptable. Right. So companies which had fried in their name did away with it. I don't want to mention the obvious one.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, sure.
You're good. It used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken, now it's KFC.
Yes.
And it's still fried, but where's the fried word? They took it out.
Right.
I believe companies are going to start to do this certainly simply because of the perception. But we also saw this happening with the companies who produce cigarettes and smoking and tobacco. Mm-hmm. They started to change their labeling and the way they presented themselves. So much of it is perception, and I believe the energy industry, they get a bad rap, but the reality is we still need oil.
And I think
that's not going to change anytime soon. There is a lower demand, but it's incremental compared to the absolute amount that we're using.
I think, was it Conoco is merging with Marathon? And it was Marathon and some other oil company are
billions and billions and billions of dollars.
It's only stock. They're only going to trade stock. There's not going to be any money, given money.
But like you were saying, a lot of people, they don't think about, when they think oil, they think gasoline. They don't think about all the other petroleum-based products that everybody uses.
Almost
every day
everything,
in their
yes,
life.
Of course.
Absolutely. I mean, plastics involve oil products, jet fuel when you fly. You're not immune to oil products. That's why the oil industry is consolidating right now, as you just pointed out. They're starting to merge. And what they're going to ultimately do is redefine their role. But their role is not going away. I can assure you of that.
Yep.
Have you ever thought about running for president?
I think I'm too smart to do that.
I think
Good answer.
We love that.
And you don't want to take a pay cut.
That's exactly right.
I'm probably going to pay raise.
Yeah, exactly. So are you, I assume that you are in Illinois.
I'm in Illinois, that's good.
Yeah. And where is the university where you are? In Urbana?
We're in kind of central west side or central east side of Illinois. So we're around 120 miles from Chicago, 120 miles from Indianapolis, and 150 miles from St. Louis. We're right in that middle point.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If you have any classes here in Texas, I'm coming. I'm signing up. I'll be your first student.
Okay, I will welcome you to the classroom.
Well, I'll tell you this, that I really appreciate you joining us today, and we love your wisdom and all of the things that you had to say as far as getting us to understand and explain the strategic oil reserve and gasoline and prices and all of the stuff that's going on, and even the politics part of it too. It's fascinating, and it's all intertwined. What a marriage that is. Golly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Dr. Jacobson, thank you so much again.
Thank you,
we
sir.
hope to be in touch with you later on and see. Let's talk again at the beginning of the year after the election, shall we?
Sounds like a plan.
It's a date. Thank you again. We appreciate
Thank you.
How fun.
Yeah. Great information there.
People think of a barrel of oil as a 55-gallon drum. That is not a barrel of oil. A barrel of oil is 43 gallons because when they struck oil, that was the only device they had was a 43-gallon container. So that is actually considered a barrel of oil, not the big 55-gallon things that you see.
Really?
Yeah.
43.
43. I believe it's 40. It might be 41. I think it's 43.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I did not know
But
that.
that's what they
It's
had
not
to-
55.
No, it's not 55.
I'll be. Well, all I can think of is, when it gets cold outside and you put all of the trash that you've been collecting for weeks and weeks to burn it in a burn barrel. Yeah. That's all that comes to mind.
Go get that Picasso.
I've been to the street, one of the oil reserves that is not far from here, because my younger days when I worked for the phone company, we had to go out there and
fill up.
This guy's walking around with M16s. I mean, they're loaded
Serious
for bear.
about it, yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
it is, and they want to look at your truck. They want to look at you, going and coming.
Huh. Kind of like the place out there in the desert where the aliens landed.
Yeah.
The place that doesn't exist. I know that place.
Exactly. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, thanks for... I got too many buttons here I'm pushing.
Mike's freaking out because it went dead.
Sorry, I've got too many things going on. I got this going on, this.
boy.
Listen, I'm just... I'm so busy and flustered.
And verklempt.
All right, welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Back.
Cruise in calendar time.
We
Jeffrey
got some
has
stuff
that
going on right now. We got, obviously, today's Saturday, June 1st, and it is also hurricane season, so starting up. We've got Revving Up Hope at the Karbach Brewery. It's 9 o'clock this morning, so it's coming up in just a few minutes. That's at 12032 Karbach Street in Houston. It's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You've got the car show in Tomball Retirement Center coming up at 10 o'clock this morning.
What is that one? Oh, that sounds like
car
us.
show, Tomball Retirement Center.
Tomball Retirement Center.
They're going to pick us up here in a little bit in a van and take us up there.
Okay.
13415 Medical Complex Drive in
my.
Tomball. Starts at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Another one going on today is the Conroe Cruisers Saturday Night Cruise. That's at the Kroger Marketplace parking lot at 341 South Loop 336 West in Conroe. That's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight. And then,
Did you type that?
no,
In other words...
I just copy and paste.
No, I know, but the paper, did you
Oh,
put
no,
that
I
on your printer?
No, yeah, I had paper stacked with different things, and I went to fill it, and this ended up. So, we'll use it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, tomorrow, Chrome and Coffee. Where, Don? Avalon Diner. So that'll be happening
In the
tomorrow.
fountains,
In
yep.
the fountains, yep. That's right out of the box tomorrow. And then the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause. That's what Randy was talking about. Market Street in the Woodlands, 9595 Six Pines Drive. That's 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Weekly car meetup in Willis, what you talking about at the DM.
What you talking about, Willis?
DM2 Value. That's at 3 p.m. And then the last one, Sundays at Freddy's. It's always going on. It's a recurring event. It's off of 1960 at 12407 FM 1960 from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m.
From Automotive News, U.S. Department of Labor on Thursday sued South Korean auto giant Hyundai an auto parts plant, and a labor recruiter over illegal use of child labor in Alabama. The complaint, filed in U.S. District Court in Montgomery, also sought an order requiring the companies to relinquish any profits related to the use of child labor. Reuters reported in 2022 that children, some as young as 12, worked for a Hyundai subsidiary and other parts suppliers for the company in that southern state. The Labor Department filing named 3 companies as defendants. The department's wage and hour division found the child had worked up to 60 hours a week on a smart assembly line operating machines that formed sheet metal into auto body parts. The stamping plant.
Yeah, stamping plant.
The smart plant supplies parts to Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, which assembles popular cars such as the Hyundai Santa Fe, the Tucson, and the Santa Cruz. You imagine owning one of those and knowing some 12-year-old stamped out your door? Wow. According to the Labor Department complaint, Smart informed the staffing firm that 2 additional employees were not welcome back at the facility due to their appearance and other physical characteristics, but suggested they also were underage. Yikes.
Wow. Or they just get a ride home that afternoon in the car they just built.
Yeah. The school bus has a different look to it now. A Reuters investigation revealed the widespread and illegal employment of migrant children in Alabama factories supplying parts to both Hyundai and sister brand Kia. U.S. Labor Department says it has seen a surge in child labor violations and has investigated cases involving, get this, 5,792 children nationwide, including hundreds employed in hazardous occupations in the 2023 fiscal year. Are you kidding me?
So then there's probably that going on as some of the mining and the refining of the mining and the lithiums and all. Oh, wow.
Kia America is accused a New England dealer, 5 of its former dealerships, 1 current dealership, and the group COO of racketeering, fraud, and related wrongdoing for a scheme that allegedly bilked the automaker out of hundreds of thousands of dollars in unearned sales incentives. Dan O'Brien Auto Group's 3 former Kia stores in Concord, New Hampshire, Northampton, New Hampshire, and Norwood, Mass, allegedly submitted hundreds of fraudulent retail delivery reports of purported new Kia vehicles, according to the complaint. They say the loss is more than $500,000. Okay, Mr. O'Brien, you go for it, Buster. You're in a heap of trouble now.
Heap of kimchi.
Mm-hmm. Federal Trade Commission this month defended its new rule regulating dealership advertising and finance and insurance practices, telling the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals the regulations were necessary, developed fully, and far more helpful to society than burdensome to dealers. NADA and the Texas Automobile Dealers Association in January petitioned the appellate court to kill or modify part or all of the regulations. The Combating Auto Retail Scams, or CARS rule, was scheduled to take effect this summer, but the FTC opted to put it on hold pending the outcome of the case. Well, Guess what? Case is over with. You lose.
Case closed.
It's going to go, and you're out of the luck. There's that. Okay.
Right.
News stories for this hour. Hey, by the way, we would love to hear from you anytime. You can write us, text us, do whatever you'd like. Well, almost anything. Mm-hmm. Just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We've got more of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming up right after this break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise-in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Welcome to the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Well, thank you.
Father's Day right around the corner. No better place to shop for car stuff than Pro-Am Auto Accessories. John Rawson joins us with some ideas. Also, Jeff has this week's racing calendar, and Mr. Mars has a special feature on U.S. cities where Americans take the shortest drives. I had to think about that for a minute. The shortest drives. To work or to church or what? Why would they have a car if it's that short?
Well, that's some of the findings in this study that struck home when I read it, and Houston made it into the top 10.
Really?
Wow.
Well, because we got so much to do here. You can go do anything you want to in a short distance.
Yeah, but it still takes you 3 hours to get there.
Well, there's that. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. The IT director of engineering, David
Where is
Ainsley.
he?
He's in bed.
Okay.
But he'll be joining us next week in Granbury, Texas.
Ooh,
We're
Granbury.
going to be up there for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run, which is always a good time up in Granbury. We're going to have Tammy Dooley on from the Visitors and Convention
Yeah,
Bureau.
later on the show. Absolutely.
That's going to be in May. My name is Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Also joining us right now is a friend of the show, John Rawson. John, good morning to you.
Hey.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We can see you. We're loving on you
Awesome.
right now. Can you feel the love coming through the phone?
And the bug is still
Yes,
there.
I can.
You
Fantastic.
know, I've tried to sell that bug once. And
It's here. It's ready.
I know that. And like you said, it needs an interior.
It needs an interior. It needs some love.
It needs some love. Does it run?
Yeah. Well, it did last time it pulled in here, so yeah, it should run.
Okay, it runs, but it just needs an interior. So if you're in the market for a bug convertible that looks really good, I've seen.
I like the
thing.
color.
It just needs an interior.
Ranwin Parked, as the ad always says.
Ranwin Parked. Well, that's good. Do you want to tell everybody what you're asking for it?
Man, at this point, I'm open to offers, but I think it's probably worth somewhere from 10 to 12.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think I got $10.
No,
Yeah.
$10,000 to $12,000. There's that.
Because I was going to outbid him
And
with
you
20.
know, listen, you ought to see Mars Garage. If he ever cleaned it out, I'll bet you he's got that bug interior back in the back of his garage right now.
Well,
Somewhere.
If he finds it, let me know. It might
Okay.
get me motivated to finish it up.
All right. Well, we wanted to get a hold of you today because we want to talk about Father's Day gift giving. Now, I don't
Yes.
want to be sexist here and just relegate what you have to offer there in Pro-Am Auto Accessories as for just for men. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's for everybody. And, wives, kids, whatever. They got a dad. Well, there you go.
That's right.
There's a place to go. Pro-Am Auto Accessories. You're still in the same location that you've been in since 1910, right?
That's right. Since 1910. 6125 Richmond Avenue, corner of Richmond and Greenridge. We've been here since 1984. Don't plan on going anywhere else.
John, you weren't even
come see us.
born in 1984, were you?
Yes, actually, I was.
Okay, well,
I was a what do you call it?
A wee lad.
A tweenager, I think, back then or something.
Tweenager.
So,
That's good.
but yeah.
So
No, we've been here a long time, having a good time.
yeah, well, you do a smattering of things there at the shop. I know that you do some car work. You're really into BMWs there, aren't you?
We are into BMWs for service. We do service work on pretty much all cars, but we kind of specialize in German stuff. So BMWs, Porsches, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, all that good stuff that always needs some kind of service.
And seats for Corvettes.
And yeah, we work on an occasional Corvette. We had a black one in here a month or two ago. Put some seats in it.
Yeah, and it's absolutely fabulous. By the way, I want you to know that I spent some time on it on the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. The Corbos worked out real well.
You took them out of that
Fantastic.
We did not take them out of the bug, but there's an idea for you, John. You know,
Yep.
you've got those show seats right there in the showroom. I'm thinking
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we could probably adapt a couple of those to fit in that bug.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a good idea. I need to get them reupholstered in white because I always wanted to do white in this bug.
And that would be appropriate, yep.
But these are all, this is an example right here of your Corbo seats. So we've got racing seats, we've got seats for hot rods, for trucks, for Jeeps. We do a lot of seat upgrades for off-road vehicles, actually, mud vehicles. We even do, Corbo offers a line of these for their, what do you call it, a Razor, one of the side-by-side.
Oh, yeah.
Off-road,
Yep.
off-road little buggies.
Yep.
They make seats for those. So, yeah, we can handle any and all of that.
I see you got
it's a lot of fun.
You got wheels there in the showroom glass. So I guess any kind of wheels that anybody so desires, we can get them over there at Pro-Am.
Yeah, we do a lot of wheels. These two wheels here are pretty much what we're doing the most of these days. These are Apex wheels on the bottom, which they make wheels for a lot of vehicles now. They started off doing BMW, and now they've expanded into Porsches, Corvettes, Mustangs, FRSs, any kind of track day cars. These are all track-focused wheels. But we also do a small amount of wheels for trucks and SUVs and stuff too, but not a ton. But we can do those. Of course, we've got our racing gear that we always have carried. It's finally racing season, although it's going to be really hot, I think. But we do helmets, gloves, shoes, any of the racing gear, fire suits, and other accessories that you might want to take to the track. Like way up there on the top is a race ramp, which are really lightweight, kind of foam-filled ramps, but they're very heavy-duty. You can park a car on top of those and crawl underneath it and do what you need to do.
I want to know about the helmets,
lots
John. What is the number one brand of helmet that you sell?
Well, to be honest, the number one brand that we sell are these right here, RaceQuip, which are basically an entry-level helmet. These are $299 a piece. They're SA 2020. And most of our customers are either just getting started in HPDE, or maybe they're going to do Lemons races or stuff like that, or maybe even go to the drag strip for some of the import drag war things. What do they call it? Texas 2K or whatever. We do a lot of helmets for those guys that stop in. We also carry other name brand helmets, Simpson, Bell, G-Force. Most of that is special order because of the sizing and the particular features you can get on those helmets. But the everyday guys coming in needing something quick for autocross or whatever, these RaceQuips fit the bill, and they're not ready to dedicate $1,000 or $1,500 to a helmet. These are a very affordable entry point, and it's quite a comfortable helmet. So it's a quality piece.
For instance, you've got the shoes there, you've got the helmets and things. Is most of this stuff in stock there, or would you have to order it and maybe drop ship it to their house?
We stock a small amount. We do special order a lot of it nowadays because I used to stock tons and tons of it, but what happened then was it just it didn't move fast enough. People wanted the freshest the freshest unit or whatever.
Right.
And so we just order them. But we do keep the basic RaceQuip helmets in stock, along with the gloves and the balaclavas, the head sock. That's these guys right here.
Yes.
Those are real popular.
I think it's great that you've got them there because a lot of people, like you say, the new guys starting out,
don't know.
Well, yeah, and they look online and they say, well, they get it at Amazon, they get it at Summit, whatever. But what do I really need? And they can walk in there and physically look at it to decide.
Let me just throw this out there that, he is in the uptown area of the Galleria area.
Yep.
And so here's the thought. drop the wife off at the Galleria, let her do her thing, and just mosey right on down Richmond Avenue.
Looking for a parking place. I'll be back here.
Yeah, and you go
We've
down.
got lots of parking.
Yeah, and just stop in at John's place and say, hello, I like that over there.
Better idea.
We can keep them entertained for however long it takes.
If you're in the mall, why not open a Pro-Am next to a Victoria's Secret so you got that right there? You don't have to go far. And then, of course, okay, I need some work done on my BMW. Well, the wife's next door shopping for lingerie or whatever the case. Well, let me set you up an appointment at my shop on Richmond. And then you go there. And
some guy comes in and, John, I'd like to get a special order, but I'd like my seats covered with material from next door.
There you go.
Over there at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
You know, John, I think what you need to do is just let the management of that establishment over there listen to the advice of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We'll have you out of business in no time flat.
Perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for. I'm ready to retire anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So I did want to mention for Father's Day this special that we've got going on Roadmaster Active Suspension Kits, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with these
We're
or
not,
but they are an alternative product to like airbag load suspension. If you're towing a trailer or towing a boat or loading up your truck real heavy with even a camper or something on top. This has been a fantastic product that we're a dealer for here in town, and we do stock these kits. This is the product right here. I don't know. This is an example of your leaf spring on the back of your pickup, but this is the Roadmaster Active Suspension part, and it is a helper spring basically that only activates when you load up the truck. So what you maintain is a good ride when you're not towing, and then when you are towing, this thing basically adds spring rate as needed to the back of the truck to help keep the hitch from sagging and to help keep the whole load from porpoising and bouncing down the road. We use these on our own 3/4 ton Chevy to tow our race trailer with, and they are a night and day difference. And everybody that has installed these, in fact, I did one this week for a guy. Everybody that has put these on their truck has absolutely loved them.
Well, all I know is that there used to be
pretty
a great big huge thing that if you towed like a great big car hauler behind it with a lot of weight and stuff, and you had like an RV or something, and it had this great big mechanism on the back of it, and it really added to the length and bulk of everything back there.
And weight.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, these are fantastic, and unlike, one of the advantages of these over air springs or air helper springs is there's really nothing to fail on these. The air springs do work great, but over time those things degrade and start leaking air, and you lose the performance, and that's hopefully not going to happen when you're out on the road when you need them. These things here, as far as I've seen, and I've had the ones on our truck for, I don't know, 15 years maybe. We got one of the very first sets, and man, they just work. They just work, and they don't make noise, and they don't fail. I love them.
So what have you got? What have you got for the just a guy walking in, or you got a son or daughter wanting to get something for their dad, and they walk in? Where would you direct them for something that's not on that suspension level, but maybe some waxes and polishes, or?
We do. We have a whole waxes and polishes section. We've got, I'll stop right here first. We have license plate frames. These are really inexpensive, and they've got the brands or the vehicle logos on them. You see Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, GMC. I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but you can see the names of the different manufacturers. We've got those that dress up your license plate a little bit. Those have always been a popular seller. People get tired of the dealer plates that get stuck on their cars, so they want something a little bit nicer. These are all stainless steel. They don't rust. They come with screw covers, so they end up looking real nice on the car.
Cool.
And these are most of these are $30, $35 a piece, so very inexpensive.
Well, that comes as a pair.
No, they're sold individually. So if you only want to put one on the back, you can do one on the back, or you can do them on the front if you want. So,
okay.
So let me show you. Yeah, this is our car care section, and we just restocked for summer on all of the Class A brand, which that is really probably the main brand that we carry. That's these guys here. It's a all-in-one cleaner wax, a sealant glaze, and then this little bottle here. These are your interior vinyl treatment for leather as well. It's fantastic stuff. It's German. I sell a ton of this stuff over the internet. People just can't get enough of it. And I have repeat customers continuously for this stuff. Fantastic product. We've also got, your other kind of general car care products. You've got Stoner products, Invisible Glass, Tough Stuff, Zep, which this is kind of a little secret here. This Zep tire shine is probably one of the best tire shines you can buy. People drive from all across town to pick this stuff up. There you go. Works fantastic. So yeah, and all of these items here are, $10, $15, $20, $30. The car waxes here are about $24, $25. So really inexpensive and really, really great high quality products. I mean, that's kind of one of the things we've done here over the years is distill down your choices on these things to the stuff that we know personally that really, really works. So yeah, we have lots of this stuff. You can come talk to us. We can look at problems on the car's paint, help give you some guidance on what to do, where to go with it. So
perfect.
Nice. We've got, car dusters, car wash mitts, that kind of stuff. So yeah, lots of fun stuff here. And these are all, like I said, good Dad's Day gifts that, are inexpensive enough for anybody, any kid to come by for their dad.
I like that a lot. John, tell everybody, so you're on Richmond. What's the closest big cross street that everybody would know?
We are closest to Hillcroft. So we are between Hillcroft and Fountain View.
Yep.
On Richmond. The cross street. There is a light here. It's Green Ridge. And we are here Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening. Right now we are closed on the weekends. But, that's plenty. We're plenty busy.
John, you mentioned selling some stuff over the internet.
Yes. Yeah. So we sell a lot of stuff actually on our Amazon store. If you go to Amazon and put in Pro-Am Auto, our company name, it will take you to our Amazon storefront where we sell mostly the car waxes and some of the specialty oils and lubricants and stuff, the TX7. Sell a ton of that. We also have our Bilstein shocks on there and a few other items, smaller items as well. But yeah, if they want to just order the car wax, the Class A stuff, it's all on our Amazon store.
Good to know.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, John, it's always great to talk to you, my friend, and good to see you, as always.
Likewise, yeah. Yep. You guys stop by anytime. We're here.
All right, brother. Well, take care of yourself.
Might do that
Good
next
luck,
week.
and I hope that, listen, does your family shop at your store to buy you Father's Day gifts there?
No.
Okay.
I shop here for myself.
So yeah, I hear you. Well,
I spend plenty of my own money at my own place, so that's for sure.
We hear you. We can relate. John, thanks again. John Rawson with Pro-Am Auto Accessories.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. They're everywhere. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks so much for joining us on this live portion of our show on Saturday, 8 to 11, every Saturday. Next week, we are in Granbury for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. So if you find yourself in North Texas, be sure and go. Granbury is a very cute little town. We're going to talk to Tammy about that. Yeah, it is. And this state run is really a cool thing. And we love going there and talking to all the guys that bring their cars. And you'll hear from a bunch of them when we were up there next Saturday at this time. Also want to give a shout out to our friends at the Hot Rod Tour of Texas who sent Mr. Mars this thank you note. Thank you for your support of the 2024 Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
Yay.
Yeah. We had such a great time. Every year it gets better and better. And it was good.
Yeah.
Don't you think, Mars?
I do. All
right. Time now for the racing calendar.
All right.
Jeff has that, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
You bet. And then we got this weekend, we got NASCAR. Those boys are going to be running the Worldwide Technology Raceway. I have no idea where that's at, but it sounds fun. The NHRA is coming up.
Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Yeah, they don't give any details on that. So, but NHRA is the New England Nationals at Epping, and that's coming on this weekend actually. And then we've got the Canadian.
Erica's actually qualified number 1 from last night.
She kind of struggled the past couple events. So,
well, she's qualified number 1 for the race, at least so far. Then going to have another
qualifying,
round
yeah. And then you've got the Canadian Grand Prix for the Formula One folks. IMSA, check this out. This weekend in Detroit, so it's the Detroit Grand Prix is this weekend, which is very cool. And then Indy's running it as well. So you got IMSA, you got 2 different classes running over the course of the events. Belle Isle Run, all that good stuff.
Indy goes there after the Indy 500.
Yeah.
You know, they used to go to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Mile.
Short track.
Short, flat track.
Yeah.
Whew.
Millions of miles an
Actually,
hour.
you know, that place was the first place that I was inducted into my racing thing, and I just was in awe. Went to the Milwaukee, actually the Wisconsin State Fair at the Milwaukee Fairgrounds there, and they had a race at that mile track. And that was the first time I had ever seen auto racing, and, you know, as a boy,
Got the bug.
Still have it today. All right.
That's what's
Mr.
going on.
Mr. Mars has a very special thing for us here. A look at U.S. cities where Americans take the shortest drives.
You know, we get stuff in the mail all the time from lots of different people. And there is a place up in Chicago. It's called Tinting Chicago.
It's called what?
Tinting
Chicago. Tinting.
Yes, it's a big tint shop. They do wraps. They do paint protection. They do this thing. And every once in a while, they do a survey to see how the world is, I guess you would call it. So they recently did a survey. They checked with 1,578 Americans in the top 30 U.S. cities aged 18 to 76 about their driving habits as far as driving distances go. Now, one of the things they found out is that almost half of Americans, 48% of Americans, have driven 2 minutes or less instead of walking.
That's
now,
me. That's
obviously,
me.
where you're at, where you live, makes a big difference. You know, if you're out in the heat and the weather and cities or whatever.
You see this? Do you see this? You know what that is?
No, they don't
You'll
see
have to
that.
put that up.
Well-
Put that up for just a second. Just really, you see that? You know what that is?
Smallest violin.
That's the world's smallest violin right there, and I'm
Yep.
playing it for you, Mars.
It gets even better.
I'm driving.
So, where do Americans take these short drives? Or why? Well, the number one reason is because lazy. They admit they're lazy. 72% say they're lazy. 55% say it's a time thing. And 41% say that it is a safety concern of where they're going.
Oh, for
But
God's
36% say they have driven as short as a quarter of a mile. What? Literally, 36%.
Jeff's sitting here raising his hand.
Now,
You keep your hand down. Don't admit to that.
58% drive a half mile or less. And a half mile kind of gets into, like here, in the summertime, you could be hot and sweaty, and, by the time you walked a half mile. Well, depending on where you're going.
No.
So, anyway, 55% drive if a destination is 10 minutes or less in walking distance. That's another finding. So, where do Americans take these short drives to? Mailbox.
Well, yeah, because there's some mailboxes that are clustered together in
for
a
God's
subdivision.
sakes. Yeah.
They
All
don't
right.
deliver your
Is
door.
that you?
Corner
Is
store.
that you?
No. But I would.
Community park. Now the dumpster. Got to go to the dumpster. I'm just telling you. So then, whenever you get to that, the short trip Americans take while shopping and parking. Now this is where it gets interesting. So cities where people drive to another store in the same shopping center the most. So you go into a store and you go to the next one. Houston was Houston didn't make this list. I'm sorry. Fort Worth and San Antonio did. And but Austin was number 2 for the top cities where people drive around looking for a close parking spot. Driving around in there, around and around in the parking lot till they find another place closer. Now, I will say I have, depending on what I'm driving, if I've been driving a Hellcat or something like that, I'll make sure I park out a little bit further, trying to make sure I don't get something dinged.
Or easier to steal.
But over 64% of the people that they surveyed have driven to another store in the same shopping center complex they were parked at.
Wow.
So,
God.
cities
Well,
where
Martha, the J.C. Penney is way down there, and I'm going to go to Target. Can you drive me? Are you serious?
when you get to cities where people would rather sit in traffic than have a shorter estimated time of arrival by walking.
Now, see, I agree with that. I wouldn't do that.
Houston, 51.56% said they'd rather sit in traffic than walk,
Oh, my God.
even if it got there faster
Maybe
walking.
that's part of the reason that we're in one of the fattest cities in the United
There
States.
you go.
Yeah. So that kind of hit home, and I thought, how cool. Anyway, we are a lazy bunch of people, apparently. And the top cities where people drive the shortest drives, Houston was number 3.
Wow.
With 84.33% based on the way they scored the questions, the way they asked them.
Well, the criteria. I mean, I'm going to write, like going to Los Tios on Friday night. Okay, so there's not a parking spot here in this area of the parking lot. And so I just keep moving on further down. So I park down there by Petco.
Yeah.
All right.
Or the Walgreens or something.
That's a whole, eighth of a mile away. Oh, my God, what am I going to do?
I'm just telling you that the survey says.
Yeah, survey says. All right. Well, thank you. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address, info@inwheeltime.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. We're back right after this break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise Inn at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Howdy, and welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Turn the page.
Turn the page.
Turn the page.
Okay, Bob Seger.
Turn the page.
Well, you're
Well, it's
pretty
all, they're all
behind there.
stuck together.
What have you
Thanks
been
for
doing over
joining.
there?
Yeah, well, that's the question of a lifetime. Thanks for joining us on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Ahead, author of Fast Ford's 50 Years of Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest. Later, Jeff has this week's special feature on 8 car models that are going away. I thought we already did that.
I know. You turn the page.
That's the problem. I turned the page. Well, so what are you going to do later
Oh, the
on?
Motor Minute.
Oh, the Motor Minute. Oh, see, I've got that down for the Motor Minute.
Yeah, I guess I misunderstood what was going where because I didn't
I got
have
wheels
the other-
on TV.
Well, because that doesn't need to be there.
Well,
and that's
I
my
can't
fault.
change that.
No, you can't. It's okay. Well,
Don't go a changing.
enough of dilly-dallying around on this. We have guest Jeremy Walton. Jeremy, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
And that's quite an accent. I bet you're not from Alabama, are you?
I don't think I'm from Alabama, but I was born July 4th.
Well, the 4th of July. Well, America's Independence Day. Jeremy is the author of Fast Ford's 50 Years Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest. And he is a renowned author, writer, and all-around good guy. And Jeremy, it's great to have you with us. What time is it over there in the UK?
3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, you've been up for a while.
Authors have to get up early.
Yeah, well,
Otherwise they're gonna make money.
exactly. And where are you located over there in the UK?
Near to a historic monument called Stonehenge.
Oh, are you?
Cool.
That's what the problem is. You got all those alien forces still swirling around up there, right?
Correct.
Well, you know, the other thing that comes to mind with your new book about Ford's Finest is the fact that, and I'm sure that most people that are car people understand that Ford over in the UK and Ford here in the United States, yes, they may be owned by the same company, but they also make different cars for different parts of the world. What we have over here don't necessarily travel over there on the other side of the pond. And so, do you have Mustangs over there?
We've raced Mustangs since the 60s. When Ford went total performance, we went along with it because we could find winning formula. But we made our own stuff as well. Little Cortinas, Lotus Cortinas. And stuff like that.
Yes. Well, we've heard of those, and we're familiar with those. But do they have? Can you go down the street to a Ford store and buy a Ford over there?
Oh, yeah. You can go to over 100. And Ford, until about 2021, was the market leader. It took them until the 60s to overcome the home opposition, the people who made Minis and Sprites and stuff like that, and also had electrics by Lucas, King of Darkness.
King of Darkness. Lucas, yes, of course. We've heard of their famous electronics and their carburetors, so I can totally relate to that. So tell us about your book, Fast Ford's 50 Years Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest. Do you have a personal relationship?
I do. I worked for the company for 3 years, and I was a consultant for maybe 20.
Very nice. And what did you consult with them on?
High performance racing and rallying, which was a bigger sport over here than there. But also we got involved in rallycross, which became pretty popular in the States as well.
And still is, as a matter of fact. Yeah. And are you still involved in any of that?
I'm 77 years old, so I tell the guys why they're slow.
I got it. So what made you decide to come up with the book, Fast Ford's 50 Years Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest?
In the words of the famous gangster, I got a contract.
Well, that's perfect. Yes, and
puns.
And I will say that his sense of humor.
I know. I like
very,
it.
Very British. We love it, and don't go changing to try to please us over here in the U.S. of A. So tell me a little bit about the book. What do you cover in there?
Well, in 400 pages, we're covering 50 years of mainly European Fords, but there are 2 chapters that are maybe familiar territory to you. I don't know whether you can see some of the pages.
Sure.
But this is a Galaxy 500.
Right. Yeah.
Raced on a tiny English track. So we go from tiny post-war austerity vehicles that were hopped up and were used in drag racing with big engines, through to GT40, the Transit van, which I think you get recently, and then a lot of European product, which comes up to date. Well, actually, it's just been dropped, really. Focus, Fiesta, that sort of stuff. So the book really ends with the last gasoline-powered cars.
What kind of car do you have personally in your garage?
Not permitted.
Not permitted. I got it. All right. Well, I guess that speaks volumes. One, about your sense of humor, and number 2 is, he's
got a contract.
He's got a contract. That's exactly right. Well,
I will say that there are over 400 Fords driven in this book. Some maybe 50 of some models. I mean, one thing we got in big time was Sierra, which you had as Mercure, and which is always held as a failure in the States. But actually, you managed to sell twice as many Mercures as we managed to sell high-performance Sierras. But maybe that's the size of your market.
That's in. I remember the Mercure that we had here in the United States. Do you remember that?
Yep.
I don't remember exactly what it is. I know that name from something.
It's a small car that it was a one-off kind of car that I guess that we imported over here from
because Mr. Bob Lutz said you would. So he tried to make a Ford BMW.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a hot rod sold at the Mercury dealership.
Correct.
And was it a 4-door?
It was a unique body. It was 2 doors with a hatchback and what I think you call 5 light. In other words, 3 side windows.
Yes. It was kind of an odd duck. It was an attractive car. You just didn't see that many of them. And that was back in the 70s. Was that? Am I right?
That was in the 80s, and it was a much more successful competition car. So you had it in the US racing, and we had it in Europe as well. While we were waiting for a thing called the Sierra Cosworth, which was where the Grand Prix engine builders put a motor in the Sierra or Mercure.
Isn't that fascinating? So you cover that in this book of yours. So I would like to invite everybody that's a Ford fanatic, and there are lots of them here. Matter of fact, we had Randy Weldon, who's well oiled in the Ford Mustang, to check out your book. Where can we find your book?
You can get it direct from a company called Evro.com, EvroPublishing.com. Have you got a copy of the book or a PDF?
That would be Mr. Mars. Who,
no, sir.
We do not.
Oh, right. Okay. Fine. So the web address, which is probably the best for US and overseas orders, is Evro Publishing, EVRO Publishing.com.
Okay, EvroPublishing.com. And it's not available on Amazon?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Very
But
good.
I don't like you to buy it there because it's cheaper.
You know, I think that we would like to sit down and have a pint with you sometime.
Or several.
Or several.
Yeah. Well, I'm practiced in that. I was a journalist.
There you go.
there
Exactly.
yes, exactly. Well, we love
I can
that.
do that.
Yeah. Tell me about your personal experience. You worked for Ford for a while, so I assume that you got to drive many of the Fords that you write about in your book.
Yeah. The appeal of it compared with like writing just a Mark history or, you know, this model came out in that is the fact that every car that's in there I've driven. So I started off as a young kid journalist, and the English establishment didn't like, this was in the time of the Beatles and all that, and the English established automotive makers didn't like long-haired kids driving their cars. But Ford Motor Company were a little more used to, let's say, teenagers who'd got money. And so when the establishment turned me down to visit a very big competition shop here in Britain, Ford Motor Company said, send the kid over. We'll teach him some things. And they did. They really did. It wasn't all lovey-dovey, but they taught me a lot about racing and putting together cars and how to make a profit on each single item you do. And also,
Important.
somebody taught me to drive on an airfield perimeter as well, where you have to do all these tricks like sideways and handbrake turns and all that stuff. So I was pretty well versed by the time I was about 22. Got a better job on a bigger couple of magazines, became more establishment myself, and then started racing. And a guy from Ford, a consultant, a guy called Nick Britton, I was racing a Chrysler product initially, 2 products, and he said, you don't want to do that. There's no money in that. You're 21, 22 years old. You've got 2 kids and a mortgage. Get out there, get sensible, go to Ford. So, and Ford had asked me to drive a car. So I got a 1-year season. And a little irony that might amuse you was, so I'd do a 40 race season starting as a novice. And halfway through that season, I got the chance to drive a BMW in an international 24-hour race. The week before I was due to race that car in Belgium, I turned the Ford over very comprehensively. Made the front page of the papers. That got me some sponsorship to carry on running the Ford. Next week, I was in Belgium with the BMW, and it turned a really good result. And that's how I got into Ford.
Well, I like the way you put that. It turned a really good result, because when you used the word turned, I thought, oh my gosh, he turned that one over too.
No. That would be terrifying. I don't think you would be familiar with Spa over there. Only maybe Dan Gurney from the past would. It was an 8-mile road circuit, and the Grand Prix cars would average 160 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh, where was this circuit?
Belgium. It's the other side of the Ardennes, fairly famous for being fought over by the Germans and the Allies.
Yes, of course. Does it still exist today?
Well, the bits that we didn't all race to the ground, yeah. The circuit does. The circuit's much shorter now. It's a sort of 4-mile track, and it's used for Grand Prix, and it's still pretty spectacular.
I can only imagine, yeah, because, well, here in the United States, it seems that every time you turn around, another housing development is eating up some sort of racetrack of various kinds. So that's why I ask.
My hugest regret is I remember driving 3 cars in 2 weeks at Riverside Raceway for my journalism. And, of course, that went to housing, I believe.
Yes, it did. And that's one of the examples that comes to mind when we talk about racetracks. Well, the other thing that I picked out of your resume and some of the content I think that's in your book is you addressed the Escort that Princess Diana drove. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it set a new world record for reselling a used sedan, I think. Well, it wasn't a sedan, actually. It was a convertible. It was specially painted in black for her. I know the irony of Henry Ford, but black is a very special color in Europe, and quite often the real high-performance cars, you had to be a special somebody to get it painted black. Anyway, Princess Di was obviously very much a special somebody, She used the vehicle for about 12,000 miles. It passed through various owners, and the last owner got right, made sure that it had got the original plates and the original finish that she had, and it went at Silverstone for £725,000. That's quite a lot even in your money.
Well, I'll say, holy Toledo. So is it in a private collection now?
So far as I know, yes, it hasn't become visible again.
Interesting. Well, it's kind of the same way over here. You know, every once in a while you run across a car that has quite a history about it, and it just disappears off the face of the earth in somebody's private collection, never to be seen again.
Pedigree on it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I say that because I think that the Corvette serial number from 1953 is 001, and it's been around a while, but it has disappeared off and on throughout the years, and I think recently it's been rediscovered, so that I can relate to that. Well, it sounds like a fascinating book, Fast Fords, 50 Years of Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest by Jeremy Walton from the UK, and most notably Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I would imagine that your address is not Stonehenge.
Number 1 Stonehenge. I'll tell you what it is. Well, I'm not going to tell you the rest of it, but I actually live in an old church.
Today you live in an old church?
I do. One that was a religious ground that was listed back when the French came over and conquered us. So that was 1066. And then it was rebuilt by the Victorians about 250 years ago.
How wonderful is that?
That's cool.
Well, next time I'm coming over, I'm going to come to see you, and I'll knock on the door, kind of like European Vacation.
Yeah.
You've probably seen the movie where they knock on the door and they're invited in for some schnitzel, and the people that served them schnitzel didn't have any clue who they were. They just thought that it was, Uncle so-and-so. But at any rate, that'll be your treat on us. Okay,
we'll bring the pints.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm thinking of a trip to the US about the time you're coming.
Well, perfect.
Leave the key under the mat.
Jeremy Walton, you are a joy to have on the show. We really appreciate it. And we would like everybody to check out Fast Ford's 50 Years Up Close and Personal with Ford's Finest. Jeremy, have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
sir.
Your time.
You bet.
You bet. Okay.
Have fun.
That is fun. I love interviews like this, and I've got 2 pages, as you can see right here, of all of the stuff about him and his experience and everything that goes on to get this 400-page book. And I told you the name 1,000
there
times.
You go.
I think we got that. All right. I guess that we need to take a little short break.
A little schnitzel.
In time for a schnitzel. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's see. Let me get my act together here.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna get this going here.
Hey, thanks for riding with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. info@inwheeltime is the address to write to. And if you want to, you can reach out to Mars. He's Mars@inwheeltime.com, or Jeff at inwheeltime.com.
There you go. Send cards and letters, fan mail, money. Money's well appreciated.
Really? Yeah. I know you just didn't ask for money.
I did.
Kind of like Soupy Sales
I was thinking
Soupy Sales. You don't even remember that, do you there, Mr. Mars? Soupy Sales. Yeah, do you? Soupy Sales used to be a show for kids on Saturday morning.
Out of Detroit.
Very funny show. And he said, hey, kids, go get $1 out of your parents' wallet and send it to me. And apparently lots of kids did. And the parents wrote the show and said, how dare you tell my kid to go into my wallet and have him pluck $1 and send it to you.
Or whatever amount it was.
And that was the end of the show. He got fired for that. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Well, I had the opportunity to take Kylie. She took her car, her new car to her, in for some recall work. She had a couple of recalls done, so they got it in and all. I dropped it off. It took a few days, all that stuff. So I had time to go take her up there to pick it up so she could have the car back. And I'm looking around this dealership. I'm not going to name the dealership. I wasn't too enthralled with their service at the time. And it's a big dealership, well-known dealership. They've got a sign just about on every service advisor's station, in the bathroom and in the cafeteria. We have raised our labor rate to $180 per hour.
Ooh, really?
Minimum 1 hour.
Boy, I'd like to get in on that.
I know, and I'm thinking, how ridiculous is this? So we bought an antenna part for her because her antenna was messed up, so we're going to figure to have that done. I'm not paying $300, $400 for a little over an hour job for this antenna, so we got the part. Car was good and all that stuff.
It's $181 an hour. Is that the going rate across the United States?
No, that's at that dealership. But they vary. They vary anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour. And it depends on whether you're in a city or in a rural market. A little less money in a rural market than it would be in a big Houston or a big Dallas area. And it all depends on the dealership itself. Inflation has a lot to do with it. Other factors determine the type of shop. Is it a BMW or is it a Volkswagen shop? Those labor rates also apply differently there. Most companies and dealerships, they don't overcharge for parts because they know they can make it up on a labor side. The service department is the moneymaker. We all know that, of a dealership, because they're selling the cars. They make a minimum with all the incentives and things of that nature through financing and so on. But the hourly labor rates at dealerships are extremely high. I think they're out of control. Nothing like you would have as an independent. So my recommendation is, if you don't have to go to the dealer, if it's not under a warranty or a recall, find somebody, find a shade tree, find a neighborhood guy. I've got one. Or find a local place that you've dealt with in the past from 3-4 bay shop.
You got one?
Yeah, I got a guy. In fact,
is he close by the house?
Yeah, it's like a block away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually
Do you
talk to
drive
him.
over there?
I do. I have to pass his house, leaving on the neighborhood. But I've got to get some work done in the caddy. I got some things I need done, and he's the guy. He doesn't charge me a whole lot, and it's quality work. He actually used to work for me when I was a buyer rep for AutoNation.
Really?
He actually was one of my service technicians. He's a good guy. He's the kind of guy that's got the toolbox that's 47 drawers and lighted and stereo and all that.
Oh, yeah.
He used to have an old T-bucket hot rod in his garage.
He's
all
still
that
paying
stuff.
for it.
Well, the guy does amazing work. He's good at what he does.
Well, why don't you turn him on to us? I mean,
because he's my guy. Well, he's not always available. He does other
he doesn't
things
want
too.
to share.
Yeah. He does other things. He's got a home in Galveston, and he's got a home up in Conroe or something that he does. He's not home all day during the week. So I have to get time. Hey, I'm going to come by on Tuesday. You're going to be around. Yeah, come by at 10 o'clock, whatever, and do the work.
You got to make an appointment.
But the whole point of this is know what you're getting into when you go to a dealership, because there are signs that say minimum hour at $100, $180.
Well, in
an
a
hour.
lot of places, that's a small sign.
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, it's
At
about
the
the size of
dealership.
papers that sit on the desk like this. There
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, they want to say it's posted, but if you don't see it, that's okay too.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
my
Speaking
minute on
of that, Teddy Morse said riding motorcycles makes you feel like the star of your own movie. An intense, genuine passion for motorcycles, all kinds, but especially Harley Davidson, helped fuel the CEO of Ed Morris Automotive Group's decision to purchase his first power sports stores. 3 selling only Harleys and 1 power sports in 3 cities in Texas in 2022. Power sports, by definition, include motorized vehicles that riders guide with handlebars, including motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles, snowmobiles, personal watercraft. Though industry leaders think of Harley-Davidson in its own class, Sonic announced its entry into the power sports segment in February of 23, acquiring 13 locations that year and in 22. Publicly traded Lithia Motors bought its first Harley store in 2021 in Canada and added 6 stores selling RVs in 2022 as well. So dealerships are trying to diversify because, the way that the car market is, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, look, all these manufacturers are pulling gasoline-powered cars, and all they're doing is selling EVs, and they're not selling them. Or not selling them in the volume that they did gasoline vehicles.
That's right.
So how are you going to keep the front doors open? Diversify. Start selling some other things.
Well, not only that, you go down to the beach and you go down there and these guys are riding these side-by-sides.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking,
crazy.
John was talking about putting
Right.
seats in them and stuff. And these people are paying $20,000+ for a vehicle they can't drive on the street.
Yeah, I've seen them on the street.
Well, they
illegally.
can't drive them legally on the street.
The ones with the 2 wheels in front and the wheel in
You're
the one
talking-
side.
No. I'm talking about it's a 4-wheeler.
Oh, okay, yeah, like
you
a
sit
Polaris.
side by side on it. Yeah, like
Oh, the Polaris
several
type.
of them. Most
Okay.
people they jack them up, put the
Yep,
big speakers, and
I
all that
gotcha.
garbage
All
in
right.
them.
I was thinking the other one.
The slingshot type vehicles. That's different. That's in fact the one that's got the 2 wheels in the front and the single in the back. You don't even have to have a motorcycle license for in the state of Texas.
Yeah, okay, well, fine. I don't care.
Sign your license because you're donating body parts.
Stupid looking.
Yeah.
I've driven them.
Have you?
Yeah,
I can see that.
I don't like them.
They're weird.
yes.
And I'd drive just about anything, but I would not drive that. It'd scare
Somebody
me.
take a picture of me driving it. I'm going, you don't. If I wore my Mike Mars mask, then I would drive it, but not with
You got a mask? You can get that at
The Mike
inwheeltime.com.
Mars, and also at the Halloween store they're
Yeah.
just opening up on
Yeah,
the
John
corner
John
down
might
there.
have a few of them too.
Well,
you
guess
go.
what we've got coming up next hour?
We've got Granbury.
We got Granbury. We've got Tom's wife, Tammy.
And she's here.
It's Tom and Tammy Dooley. Tom is never around, and that we're gonna
We're going to meet him, though. We're going to meet him. We were told we're going
Well,
to
in
meet him.
jail or what?
No, at the next at the event.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't think he exists because we've never seen him.
Well.
And Tom is his middle. This particular Tom, that's his middle name.
or his nickname, one of the two.
What a well, we're.
I believe it.
I
believe
believe. All right, that's all coming up. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, email us, info@inwheeltime.com. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise Inn at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. What?
I'm just laughing at you.
Just ahead, Tom's lost relative from the Granbury CVB. It's Tammy Dooley and the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run invading her fair city. We're going to be the invaders as well.
Yeah.
You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Ford Maverick Hybrid. And Mars has this week's events calendar just ahead on this portion of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Engineer David Ainsley sleeping in today, but he'll be with us bright and early next week. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Okay. Well, I tried to put something together a little bit while we were in that commercial break, but I was shot down. So that's,
in flames.
That's fine.
We don't sing.
Look, I realize that, but in this case, you could have played along and say, okay, let's do it. But no, what I get from
Okay, let's do it. You start.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head. Ladies and gentlemen, from Granbury, Texas, here she is.
He forced us to do that.
I did. It's Tammy Dooley.
duress.
Hi, Tammy.
Good morning. How are you all?
Well, apparently we're in another world than you are.
We're out of tune, that's for sure.
Out of tune and out of town.
Y'all have stepped up your game. I love that. Now I expect that every time I come on. Okay?
That's perfect.
That's
And the problem here lies is the fact that I was turned down in the commercial break. I said, let's all just sing it together. Oh, no. That's your thing. You do it. Okay, I'll do
I'm going to
it.
upset Tammy. She's going to uninvite us.
No, she's not.
Okay.
No, she's not that kind of person. Not that I've been invited to her house to dinner or anything. None of that. And we still don't know about this alleged husband of hers for 40 years.
We're supposed to meet him.
We're supposed to meet him. Is that still going to happen?
This is a must-do now. I'm going to tell him he has to be there, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to it, to actually find out who the real Mr. Dooley is.
Like the stand-up, the real one stand up on the panel.
What's my line?
Yeah, that's it.
What's my line?
Oh,
She wouldn't know anything
that's
about
fun.
it.
He's going to love that. And I told you, if you know who Tom Dooley is, then it does date you a little bit, because most young people have no clue who Tom Dooley is.
See, I didn't.
Well, and that's our interview now with Tammy Dooley, who used to be with the Granbury Convention and Visitors Bureau. Oh, my God. Well, have you got all the parking spots cleaned up and the park cleaned up and all the motels are ready for us to all pile up in
invade.
there? The Lone Star Street Rod Association is coming, like it or not.
They are coming. We're so excited. And I think this year is going to be great because we've had so much rain and the park is really green and beautiful. So, hoping that there's no more rain, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time of year. And last week we had our annual Friends of Tourism event, and we always recognize one important event here in Granbury, and this year it was Rick Neely with the Lone Star Street Ride. So we're really celebrating him this year.
Well, that's good. You know, as car guys, we all kind of hang together and we support each other, as you have probably found out. And it's always good to have any kind of recognition because, you know, we like our hobby. And I like it so much, we've spent a lot of money on our hobby, and we cherish our cars. But more importantly, we love the camaraderie that gathering of cars in a park and a beautiful setting like Granbury brings. And so that's good. We like the recognition amongst us car guys.
Well, it's important. You know, we talk about it a lot. We have a lot of groups here, a lot of tourism here, and they're important to us. And the Lone Star Street Rod Association is in their 49th year, 10 years, I think, in Granbury. And the economic impact to this community is significant, and our community recognizes that. And so we're very appreciative. They come in, they all stay in hotels, they eat in all the restaurants, and they have a lot of choices where they could go, but they stay in Granbury, so we want them to feel welcome.
Tell me, what's the population, the regular population of Granbury?
It's about 11,000 in town, but we have a lot of communities right around us that are gorgeous. So really about 75,000.
Wow. So yeah. And at 11,000, do you have like an HEB there?
Oh yeah. We're serious. You know, we have it all, and we're expecting something like 5,000 people in the next 10 years. People are moving here. You know, we're on a lake, on a 28-mile lake, and we have something like 6,000 homes along the shoreline, and only a small portion of that is actually in the city, and everything is, you know, in the county. But our city services all those people. So they have a lot of responsibilities, and I'm part of the city of Granbury. So our department manages the convention center, which is across the street from the park where we're at with the Lone Star Street Rod, and the trolley operation, and our Langdon Center. So tourism is our number one industry here.
How big is your city council? How many people do you have on council there?
We have, including the mayor, six, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So it's manageable and it doesn't get crazy, and you don't have crazy people coming and they're all mad at you and stuff.
No, and you know, I know it sounds like I'm just saying this, but we have a great city council and you know, a great city manager. They're just really good, and they are leaders that are moving us into the future. So you know, we're in a good place. Not every city can say that.
Do you have a pamphlet that has all of the best eateries in Granbury?
Oh, of course we do. Yes, we do. We have so many good restaurants at any price point here. And we have a new restaurant that is open now. Last time we talked, it was getting ready to open. It's a pub, an Irish pub. And so that's really neat. And then we also have a foodie trail, which is, we did a competition where people could vote on the top 10 items that you want to eat when you're here in Granbury. And then if you complete the foodie trail, you win a t-shirt and a chance for $200. It's really neat. And people love that.
What is the number one restaurant there as far as, you know, volume and people want to go to it?
I would say if it's high-end cuisine, everyone likes 1890, Anise, and Christina's. But then we have really great like Stumpy's, fish tacos on the lake, right? You know, people drive their boats up there, whole different price point. We have great barbecue restaurants. We have a great German restaurant. So it's really, you know, and then we have all the franchise restaurants too.
Of course.
All the hamburger places.
We had chicken. We had chicken.
Yeah,
for
we
lunch
went
that-
to a great big huge restaurant that served
where they
fried
dance and
chicken
sing.
family style.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to Babes.
Babes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, what's not to love about Babes?
Well, it's certainly
lot of
an
food.
experience, and I love the wait staff. I think they're either in college or high school or something. It was really good.
Where they sing and dance and all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they
So-
do all the things. I think you have to do the chicken dance and stuff. Yeah.
So let me throw this scenario at you. So we're bringing some people that have never been there before, and I want to give them a sample of what is available, what the town looks like, what there is to eat, and I want to include not only the hot rod show, the Street Rod Association, but I also want to include a little bit of the lake, maybe someplace to eat on the lake. I also want to include them to get them to see the downtown area.
Friday night.
On Friday night.
Yeah.
So we're going to come in on Friday, and we'll be there Friday. And so we want to. What would you suggest that we go to on Friday night out to eat and to kind of experience, gather up all of the
With our dates.
Granberry stuff?
Yeah, with our dates.
Since they've never been here and you want to touch on the lake, I would maybe go to Mesquite Pit and restaurant and have their wonderful, world famous margaritas on the lake. You can sit outside and enjoy the lake. And then I would get on the Tiki Cruise. And the Tiki Cruise is a boat cruise down the lake, and it's amazing because you get to see a lake from a different perspective from behind all these gorgeous homes. And the restaurants, you get to see downtown. It's a gorgeous tour. It probably lasts an hour and a half. You can also, I love this, you can also log into the Visit Granbury Lake Camp and watch the lake as a screensaver or whatever. And when you're on the cruise, you can take a picture of yourself, do a screenshot of yourself on the lake. So I think that's cool. And you can enjoy the sunset. And then I would go downtown and maybe have a drink at Barron's Creek or Divine Wine. And then maybe do the Ghost and Legends tour late at night. It's really interesting, and it really tells a lot of our history. So, and that's just Friday. And then, of course, go to the show on Saturday. And then whatever, is your fancy after that. There's so much to see. I don't know if you have time for museums and all of that, but we have great historical museums. And then Stumpy's on the lake is great too. And then if you want a really, really nice dinner, I would make reservations at probably 1890.
Mars, make us dinner reservations.
We could just have Tammy make them right now.
No. She's too busy getting ready for us. So 1890 for dinner.
1890, and if you do want me to, you just let me know, and I'll get your whole itinerary for you. That's what we do here. And anyway, so you're going to have a great time.
Well, we always do.
If you can take in a show at the Opera House or a matinee Sunday afternoon, and or New Granbury Live, and those would be amazing. If they still have seats, they could possibly be sold out already.
I just want to let you know I'm going to be late for the show Saturday. I'm telling you right now. We got all this stuff going on Friday.
Guess what? So am I. I'm not sure. I'll be the Elvis, and I'll show up when the curtain rises at exactly 8 a.m. on
boy.
Saturday morning.
We're in trouble.
And you guys can do all the junk stuff. Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm going to get to see you. I don't know my time yet, but I will be down there welcoming you guys too.
Well, thank you very much. And, I'll do my famous wave and say, hey,
Yes.
Tammy, hi, how are you? Well, we're really looking forward to it. I've kind of got a roundabout way that I'm going. I'm going to visit my daughter in Denver. So Leslie and I are going to drive to DFW Airport on Monday, fly to Denver, do Denver Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Going to go to see Britt Floyd at Red Rocks on Thursday evening and get up early Friday morning, get on an airplane back to DFW, and we get in the car and drive down to Granbury. Doesn't that sound like fun? So I'm thinking that we'll probably be in Granbury at a decent time, so I'll be able to take a nap.
Oh yeah, because she's going to be cranky.
Critical,
She's
yeah,
going to be cranky.
really
Yeah.
Take a nap, ready to get my drink on and my dinner on Friday night, so I can get to bed at a decent hour. Since I've got to get up at in the middle of the night to put everything together with Mars and Zeke in here, and also with David Ainsley. That's David
But we
Ainsley.
we have to go down around the square after it gets dark and it gets lit up. We got to go make a pass down there. For
All right,
something.
we'll make a pass. Are you going to get a ticket to the Granbury bus and take us down there? Or how are you going to do that?
Well, I don't know. I have to look at that.
All right. Well, maybe I've
Depends on where we're at.
Maybe I've got a
We
car
have,
big enough.
if you need transportation or something here, we do have a great service called GET. It's Granbury Executive Transportation. They can pick you up and take you anywhere you want. All of this information is on visitgranbury.com, but you can just send me an email and we'll set you up on anything you need. But yeah, visitgranbury.com has every restaurant, every hotel, and transportation, anything you need.
Well, this is a great road trip tour, and we have already suggested that the Hot Rod Tour of Texas wind up there next year. We've already put that request in. Now, this year, how many cars did we have?
There's 349 or something.
Yeah, 340 something.
Almost 350 cars in a big long string. If you can imagine something like that. We had the townships along the way come out with all the kids in the family waving. It was a free parade of cars through the town, as you can imagine. Every kind of car, truck, and SUV that is available was in the parade. So we've already put the word in. That's our suggestion to come see you guys.
Well, I love that, and let me know what I can do to help move that along. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and yes, you'll enjoy all of us because it's a bunch of crazy people just like us.
Put them together with her. Put the
we plan on doing
Bobby
that.
and everything.
Bobby.
They're
and Jeremy.
They're getting over this year, so now
know.
they're starting to talk about. They've already started looking. East Texas.
I love that.
Exactly.
We have hosted a lot of car shows. We love them, and people in Granbury just love it when they come into town.
Well, we will work on that for you. And in the meantime, we'll work on getting up there to see you next weekend for the Lone Star Street Rod
I'm
Association
excited.
State Run.
Yeah.
Right there
Absolutely.
at the lake. What's the name of the park?
Hewlett Park.
Hewlett Park. That's it. Okay.
Hewlett Park. It is absolutely beautiful, right across from the Lake Granbury Convention Center.
Okay, very good. Tammy, we'll see you then. Take care of yourself, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
You bet.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our weekly 3-hour show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Don't forget, podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories
Oh, no,
has been serving...
I cut that. We're going to do that again. You ready?
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel. Pardon me?
He's going to load my thing.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and do that. I'll step out of the room while you do that. So Mars, in the commercial break, mentioned to me something that he would like to have on the Tiki cruise up in Granbury. Rum punch. Now, let me ask you something. Now, come close.
Gather round.
Friends, anybody that wants rum punch, especially if he's a grown man, a grown adult, you got to really understand where in the world would you go to have rum punch other than the bingo game on Friday night in Neaterville, Texas?
No, I was on a cruise where one of the excursions is you go and do a rum excursion. It's on looks like a pirate ship. And they got rope swings, they got diving boards off it. You go out in the Caribbean and do that. But the whole thing is a drinking event.
That's exactly what happened.
With rum.
We got off of a cruise boat in the Caribbean, got onto another little boat for a little island tour, and it was all the free rum punch you could drink. Mm-hmm. And that
was Becky with you?
Yeah.
Different story. I'm not drinking rum punch. Well, I'll give you mine, okay?
Well,
because if you want to see a real heave-ho,
that's a good one
I
there.
can supply that.
Arr, matey.
Rum punch. Time now here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show for the events calendar, and Mr. Mars has that.
Oh, the events calendar. I was already moving on to history.
Oh.
So the events calendar coming up, of course, next weekend, we're going to be at the 49th Lone Star Street Rod Association, state run in Granbury that we just talked to Miss Tammy about. And then another big event coming up, June the 29th and 30th, the Classic Truck Throwdown out at the Lone Star Expo Center and Montgomery County Fairgrounds in Conroe. Pre-1999 only, and they're limiting it to 2,000 vehicles, no more than 2,000.
2,000?
That's the most it's going to have.
My God.
Registration's $80 if there's any registration left. Spectators, $20 armband for the whole weekend. You can go Saturday and Sunday. It runs 8 to 5 on Saturday and 8 to 5 on Sunday. Go to classictruckthrowdown.com for more information on that one. And then later on in August, the 10th through the 11th, is the Texas Elite Auto Showcase out at the NRG. TexasEliteAutoShowcase.com for more information. Next week, we're going to look out into September and October and into the fall.
Okay.
And that's the events.
All right, thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review, or truck review in this case. I had a chance to drive the 2024 Ford Maverick, and it comes in these available trim levels: the XL, the XLT, and the Lariat. I had the XLT front-wheel drive. This is considered by your government as a small pickup truck. I would agree with that. Seats, including the driver, 5. Exterior changes from last model year. It was all new for 2022. Exterior features, well, following in F-150's footsteps and Ranger front fascia, it's a very attractive-looking truck. Lots of black plastic trim, but it works on this. Attractive aluminum wheels in our particular XLT that we had. It does have a no-assist tailgate, and I have to admit that I have gotten spoiled when it comes to tailgates. So, you hit the little latch and it just kind of eases down. Nay, not on this one. Those are steel cables back there, and it go wham! It opens up on you pretty quick. So I just thought I'd mention that. What I liked about this truck, its simplicity. It's not overcomplicated. It's not loaded down with all sorts of stuff. You can get it that way, but this particular one seemed to hit my sweet spot. What could use improvement? A loaded up trim package above the Lariat. Now, I may be totally off base, but I think that if you had a loaded up trim package above the Lariat, which is their top of the line being offered today, I think that they would probably sell a bunch of them, because this is a really nice vehicle. Interior highlights: separate gauge pod and a small infotainment screen, because you're sitting right there. You don't need some big thing. Dial shifter on the center console. Ooh. I liked it. AC controls on the bottom of the center stack. Comfortable and attractive cloth seating. Yes, ding, ding, ding in Texas heat. Some controls on the steering wheel, but it's not overly loaded, as you can see in this picture here if you're looking. The one bed is the only bed available. It's 4.5 feet long, so it's small, but it works. What I liked about it, the light-duty nature, which is great for do-it-yourselfers or the pest guy, the pest control guy, or the pool guy, and it's priced right too, and I'll get to that in just a second. I already said bug man and pool man. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Because those old, tired Ford Rangers from the 1990s, it's time for them to be retired. So as far as the engine and powertrain, this is a 2.5-liter hybrid four-cylinder engine that, get this, 191 horsepower.
Wow.
And 155 pound-feet of torque. And a little truck like that's plenty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spunk.
CVT transmission. Tow rating, it'll tow up to 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Haul, 1,500 pounds. That's significant for this size truck. Here's where the sweet spot really lies with this thing. 42 miles per gallon in the city.
That's the hybrid.
33 on the highway for a combined of 37. I got 36.8 miles per gallon over 375.6 miles.
Wow.
What I liked about it, plenty of smooth power. Don't touch anything when it comes to that powertrain. My nose itches. Ride and handling is car-like. It really is a nice change, because, the full-size pickup trucks, and especially when you get into the heavy-duty 3/4 ton and above, they can be rough.
Yes.
Now, I'll say this, when you get them on the highway, especially the half-ton, they're fairly smooth, but they're still a truck. And unless you put a load in the bed or you're towing something, towing makes the thing feel weird, because you've got that thing back there that
because
you're
of the
towing
light
along.
weight of the vehicle. Yeah.
Right. And if you're hauling something, it kind of squats down. But these trucks are purpose-built. This is a light-duty truck for the everyday guy. As far as something that I think that they should consider offer an off-road trimmer version. They say it's available, but I haven't seen it yet. Anyway, base trim price, $26,315. Our price is tested was $34,115, and it was fairly loaded out. The base model price, it starts at $23,815.
That's not bad.
Competitors: Hyundai Santa Cruz, $26,900. Honda Ridgeline, $39,700. Or how about this? A Chevy El Camino with a small block V8 from 1965, restored, runs anywhere from $27,000 to $126,000. I just thought I'd throw that in there. And that's my review of the 2024 Ford Maverick.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It fits a nice spot in there. Because,
it does.
like say, 1,500 pounds. You can put a little trailer back there, go to the lumberyard, haul your golf cart, whatever.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Back after this quick break.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for podcasting and live streaming. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Ahead, Jesse Corletto and how to extinguish EV battery fires. We'll have This Week in Auto History. We'll get you caught up also on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live show. We appreciate you. And while we wait for our guest, I've got some recalls to tell you about.
Oh, boy.
Well, Tesla is recalling 125,227.1 vehicles in the U.S. because of reported failures in seat belt warning systems.
Oh, boy.
The recall covers 2012 to 24 Model S, 2017 to 2023 Model 3, 2015 to 2024 Model X, and 2020 to 2023 Model Y vehicles. When a driver is unbuckled the seatbelt warning light and chime in affected vehicles, it might not activate as intended, and that does not comply with federal regulations. You bad boy. Tesla will institute an over-the-air software update in affected vehicles. The update's expected to be deployed in June. I guess they dial into your car in June, you not knowing it.
Yeah, but you know if you don't have your seatbelt on, it's either an intention, not necessarily intentional, because if you're backing out of the driveway and moving the car around, you don't put the seatbelt on.
It's a safety thing, and so they've got to have the dinger in there.
All right.
Nissan has issued a do not drive warning for 83,920 model year 2002 to 2006 vehicles equipped with recalled, unrepaired Takata airbags. If you have one of these vehicles, do not drive it until the repair is completed and the defective airbag is replaced.
Wow.
That, according to NHTSA, right down there. Mm-hmm. Warning covers certain model year 2002 to 2006 Nissan Sentras, 02 to 04 Nissan Pathfinders, and 02 to 03 Infiniti QX4 vehicles. And by the way, if you ever have any questions about your car, want to find out if you've got recalls on your car, easy thing to do. Go to NHTSA, NHTSA.gov/recalls, enter your 17-digit vehicle ID number, which you can find on your insurance card, and it will tell you whether there is a recall and whether or not that recall has been completed.
Very good.
My old Corvette actually had one. I did not know this.
Just took care of a couple for Kylie.
But unfortunately, it was out of date. So in other words, it didn't take place within the allotted time period. So I had to fork over $700.
Oh, for the replacement.
The steering column lock, which on my car, I actually have a key that goes into the dashboard like a 1950 Chevy Deluxe. Goes into the dashboard and you turn it. It's got the little chip on it and all that. Well, when you do that, the steering column has a lock, and it unlocks that lock. Well, that lock had gone bad, unbeknownst to me, until the little light comes on and goes, do not drive this vehicle until you get the steering column lock fixed. $700 later, it works.
Wow.
There's that.
No,
that was a few years ago.
She had a door latch inspection for one of the rear doors, and then she had a engine coolant sensor that she had to have looked at and replaced. So it didn't take very long.
Did it cost you any money?
Oh no, it was already.
It took longer to get the parts than it did.
Well, I think they had the parts.
Oh.
It took longer to get it in. And that's another thing I should have went off on is that they don't make appointments anymore at dealers. You want your car in the dealer, you drop it off. We'll call you when it's ready. Could be tomorrow. It could be 3 days from now.
I think it became pain for them.
Yeah, particularly whenever parts got hard to get.
Well,
Ford Motor Company said Thursday it's recalling more than 100,000 Lincoln Aviator large crossovers due to faulty backup cameras. I'm so sick of this story. Could you make a camera that works? Well, we ought to know about that, huh?
Some of them make really good cameras. I mean, it's like almost like high def. Some of them.
Others don't work at all.
Exactly. It's like, what?
Yeah. Recall covers 2020 to 2024 models.
No,
they didn't work. I was switching cameras when you were doing that, back and forth.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that our audience appreciates that.
Not really.
Other recalls include Volkswagen ID4 21 to 23 model years, instrument panel display malfunction. Airbags don't deploy in the Jeep Grand Cherokee for 2024. Take it back. Hood may open while driving. Now, that could be a problem.
That could definitely
in your
be a
Lamborghini Urus for 2023 and 2024. I guess that's the way you pronounce it.
Well,
I don't know. I wouldn't know, or nor will I ever know, because I ain't owning any Lamborghinis.
But that's a
anytime
mid-size engine, so is it the back bonnet or the front
It says
trunk?
the hood. Now, in America, the hood's up
the front, right.
Right.
But if it's it wouldn't have anything to do with the engine.
Well, but
Because
are
the
you
engine's
sure
mid-engine.
that's a mid-engine?
Well, I know it's an Urus. I think that's a
Like an SUV?
I think it's an SUV.
Oh,
An
okay.
Urus.
Urus.
Brakes
The
may
hood.
activate
My mistake.
unexpectedly on the Mazda CX-90 for 2024. Driving along, the
I
brakes.
thought they were aren't those going away? The 90s, CX-90s.
I don't know. Well, they're
Not very
going away
fast.
because they're going to have to go in the shop because you can't drive them because the brakes activate unintentionally.
Nice.
High voltage battery safety plug may overheat on the Kia Niro EV for 2022. That's being recalled too. So those are the recalls. There's too many of them.
Interesting. Yeah, too many.
But remember, car manufacturers really aren't manufacturers. They're assemblers.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, they may design it, but they send it over to the Mike Mars Digit Factory, and you make the digits. Or they might send it over to the Jeff Zekin Brake Factory, and you make the brakes. And then you send it all to the factory, and they put it all together.
They assemble it.
There's no stopping
and you
me.
hope that in a year or two, whenever you need parts, that little company, mom and pop or whoever it is that's making that ABS module over there for your vehicle is still in business.
Well, I
that
think-
happened during the strike.
I will tell you that for the most part, and I asked this question about the sides of the Toyota Corolla that I saw being stamped in Mississippi.
By 12-year-olds?
Nope. But I will tell you that they make these side panels with the two doors at the same time. So
Right.
you've got kind of like part of the rear quarter, part of the front quarter, and then you've got the doors and the surround around the doors. That's all stamped as one piece. So I said, so where are the cars that they're going to? Oh, this run is for the dealers for replacement. So if you get
OE part,
T-boned,
yeah. OE part.
then they cut this thing out. There you go. There's the door along with the surround.
I'll be darned.
So they make these things in excess. So when the time comes for you to get a new piece, they've got it. All right.
Interesting.
It is. All of that's very interesting to me. So I guess the fire guy is out extinguishing other fires.
Yes, too hot in California, I guess.
Too hot, baby.
Hot commodity.
Gotta run for shelter. Gotta run for shade. Oh, sorry. Hemmings sold cars roundup.
Is this a shower? Or
I don't know.
I got a car. So here's the way this works. I kind of describe the car, and these two guys over here guess the price on Hemmings sold cars roundup.
Play along at home.
Okay? So envision in your mind, if you will, if you can, a 1983 Cadillac Fleetwood. Now, this particular Fleetwood, I did not know that they made a two-door Fleetwood. I always thought that those were the Coupe de Villes, but apparently not.
Brome. Is it a Brome?
I don't know. This is a Cadillac. I'm not going to show you the price, but there it is right there. Cadillac Fleetwood, that's what it says. And it's got the plastic roof on it, the vinyl roof.
Landau.
The Landau, yeah. 1983 Cadillac Fleetwood. Looks good, looks all stock. How much do you think that they get?
$14,000.
$14,000 on the sold car roundup from Hemmings.
$9,000.
$4,677. You, sir, should have bought that car.
I'm going to buy 3 of them at my price.
And we're going to put a carport. We're going to have a carport put out front of your garage,
so you could cover the back end of it. Stick it in the front. Only the front end will fit.
Mars?
Yes, sir.
Here's one for me if you decide to buy me this. A 1963 Chevrolet Corvette convertible.
63.
63. It's beautiful. Ermine white. It's got the 2 fake air ducts on the hood, on either side of the hood, and white wall tires.
White wall tires.
White wall tires. It's really good looking. Here it is right here. See it? Right there.
Yeah.
30, how much do you think that car went for?
32.
68.
$76,650. Probably a total restoration. Be my guess for that kind of money.
I didn't have coffee this morning.
Now, if it had the split window coupe style, I think it would probably be worth twice as much. As that.
Yeah,
Six figures, easy.
How about a 1998 Chevrolet K 1500 pick-em-up truck? Looks completely stock, got a Z71 suspension on it. This looks like it is an extended cab. It may be a double cab, but I think it's an extended cab.
I have no idea. You go first.
What year is it?
It's a 1998 Chevy K 1500. Standard size bed. You know, it's long.
Can you tell the 4-wheel drive? K is the 4-wheel drive.
Well, Z71.
Yeah, that's the suspension. I'm going to go with 18.
18, Jeffrey?
14.
10. 10-5.
Must be a
missed it by that much. Here's one, a 1969 Ford Mustang. Looks kind of stock.
69.
It could be a real color. The front fender doesn't match the color-wise, doesn't match the rest of the car. So, I mean, it needs a little work, but it's certainly drivable, it looks like. 1969 Ford Mustang. Fastback. I think that of all the Mustangs, I think that's old ones. I think that's my favorite.
Because it's got the squared off back end, fastback.
Fastback.
Yeah.
Not the squared off.
Well, the back of the tail.
What year did you say it was?
Read my lips. 1969.
69. Okay.
It's got a hood scoop on it. It looks like factory stock. Everything except the wheels look stock. What do you think that something like that would go for?
$8,000.
What?
$8,000.
I'm going to say 28.
Closer. About 39.9.
Ah, see, I'm trying to picture it. Let me see it.
It depends on how it's packaged.
Okay, I was thinking.
Oh, see, that's like a Boss or something with the hood scoop on it. See,
I said it had a.
Well, I'm dealing with things over here too.
Well, you need to stop that and play the game. Okay, now here's one that I think that we all would be interested in: a 1969 Mercury Cyclone.
Oh, those are good. I like those.
This one looks all stock, and
What
it's
year?
bad to the bone looking.
69.
I'm thinking $34,000.
69 Cyclone.
It looks completely stock.
Because they made different versions of
Yeah, I
that.
know. I'm trying to figure, is that the big block? How big a block
whatever.
it is.
It's a cool
All right.
car.
I'm going to go for 40.
$57,750.
Check it out. Yeah,
The white one.
Yeah.
They were really good looking cars.
they were. I liked them.
And they were all big blocks, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And it just depended on whether you got the. I think you got to have a
Cyclone,
390 or a 428 or 429.
There was, I think, didn't they make an Eliminator? No, that was a Cougar made an Eliminator.
I don't know. It's got some badging down
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
for
yeah.
NASCAR.
All right, how about this? Let's go in the other direction. A 1941 Chevy 3500 pickup truck. Now, that would be what in today's terms a heavy duty, a super duty.
1 ton.
And
probably.
I can't really see the back end of it, but it may have something up in the back. But whatever. It looks like it's been, well, it looks like it's been painted. Let me put it that way. It's got a 1941 license plate. Looks like Texas on it. Maybe California, not sure. It's a red and black. What do you think something like that would go for?
$12,000.
I was thinking more like 9.
11,288.
Getting closer.
The problem with those is you can't really take them on the freeway
Yeah.
because they
They won't keep up.
Well, yeah, because we didn't have freeways in 1941. In 1948, Buick 51. This thing, just by the looks of it, it probably weighs about 5 tons. Seriously. This thing is massive, and I think that my grandfather had one of these. It even has the sunshade over the windshield.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see it? There it is.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
So how much do you think something like that would go for?
I would put it at 34.
Really?
27.
How about 14,175?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're not paying by the pound there.
Well, I'll tell you what. You ain't finding parts for that thing, I can tell you right now. 66 Lincoln Continental here.
There you go.
Went at the suicide doors. Went for $73,500. That's way too much. I ain't paying that. All for the suicide doors. 69 Jeep CJ5.
oh, man.
19.9.
Yeah, I was thinking.
See,
20.
I was thinking probably 15.
Here's one that I thought so much of this car, I sent it to my Katie because she always loved this thing. The Pontiac Fiero.
Oh, 9,000.
It's red. It looks really good.
A lot of them are red.
1988 Pontiac Fiero. No horsepower, but it was a cool looking car.
$9,000.
8,000. Yeah.
13,125.
Oh.
I would probably spend that kind of money on that kind of car. So that's our sold car
It's not
roundup
my
for this
my
week.
cup of tea.
No?
Not that one.
How come?
It just doesn't do anything for me. It's not appealing.
What is appealing to you? Well,
An Aston Martin 770.
No. If I said, Jeff, here's 20 grand, go spend it on what you want. 20 grand.
Well, I'd have to look at what's available for 20 grand. I check
No, but
Emmons
I mean,
out.
I know that. No.
There's a big variety I
No,
like.
I'm talking about a cool car that you would take on the hot rod tour.
Oh, I'd find like a 70s, like one of that Cyclone or maybe a Nova, Cougar, something like
I don't
that.
think you're going to buy anything for 20
You
grand.
could get a fixer upper for around that. Yeah, you could get some.
I'm
do a
not
little
willing to
work
fix.
on
I
that.
want somebody else to fix it
Well,
all up.
Then you're going to spend more than 20 grand.
Well, probably.
Well, for my 20 grand, I'm going to go and maybe
Well, you
go and do a little body work
what
to
you're
it.
looking
or-
for.
Yeah.
Really.
What would you buy, Mars?
For 20 grand, I'd buy that 2002 Corvette that's sitting down at Emmons.
Oh, is that still?
36,000 miles. He's down to 19 something on.
There you go. Mike's got his car.
Beck, here's my phone.
Oh, Becky already knows about it. I can assure you.
Well, so it's going to be one of those deals where you're not going to be able to get Becky to agree to it. It's going to be one of those deals where you're just going to have to go buy it and show up with it.
Well, I thought about getting a storage building and kind of hiding it into one of those
boy.
little storage buildings.
Mike, What is this extra bill here for $500 a month? A storage shed.
I don't think Becky talks like that.
No.
Well,
That's funny. Yeah, I'd buy something like from the 70s. Or maybe go even less, go into the 60s, late, 68, 69.
You can get some of those.
You
yeah.
can.
They're
around. Just go to Emmons.
that's exactly right. All right. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show continues after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. Time now for This Week in Auto History, and Mr. Mars has that.
All right, This Week in Auto History, May the 26th, 1927, the 15th...
Wait a minute, this is June 1st.
I'm sorry. But this week. It leads up to this week, just June the 1st, so the last week of May.
Okay, well, I knew that you had an excuse, so go for it.
I'm always on board. Have an excuse. You want a different one?
No, you're well healed because you've been married to Becky for a while, and you come up with all these excuses.
Is this the 15 millionth?
Well, this is the 15th million Ford in 1927, known as Tin Lizzie. And actually, this was the last of the Model T that they built, and then they started building the next one, the Model A, I believe it was. Now you made me lose my place. Anyway, that's it. Now, May the 27th, 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opens. They started building this in 1933. It's 1.7 miles long, and I did not realize that more than 200,000 people walked or skated across that bridge that same day that it opened. Now, 112,000 vehicles cross that bridge every day.
I'd believe that. You ever been on it?
I've been on it. I never walked it.
Oh, no, I won't.
When I was a kid.
I was really surprised on it. May the 29th in 2018, Kyle Busch becomes the first to win on every active NASCAR track. He has literally won on every track.
Really?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. May
the 30th, 1967, the Mazda Cosmo was introduced. Now, you may not know much about this, but it was not a bad looking car.
Mars.
But it was the first twin rotor Wankel engine. And that's why, it's a
wanker.
So they quit producing it in 1996, but that's what led to the RX-7 and the RX-8
No, it did
development.
not. No.
It's got rust on the rockers. Dude, look at that.
Well, it's an old car.
Yeah. I'd drive it. You know what I'd do? I'd tub it out.
It's ugly.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Tub it out.
That's ugly.
So That's this week in history.
That's too short.
Ending on an ugly note. Well, it's because it got 4 things there.
Golly. That's all. That's the best you can do.
Well, I'm not big on so and so was born this day or so and so died this day if it didn't really do anything as far as making cars.
Yeah.
Okay. White House intends to appoint UAW President Sean Fain as a member of the President Joe Biden's Export Council.
Oh, boy.
You scratch your back, I'll scratch mine. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Man,
Council's job is to advise the president on policies and regulations that affect U.S. trade.
In
The
Canada.
council also serves as a forum for discussing and resolving trade-related problems among the business, industrial, agricultural, labor, and government sectors, the White House said Friday. The move comes after the Biden administration announced heightened tariffs for electric vehicles and other critical battery components sourced from China to prevent market domination by that country. The move was praised by the UAW, which made the terms of the EV transition a key component in its negotiations with the Detroit Three last fall. Friday's announcement underscores Biden's attempt to maintain support for working-class voters as he faces a rematch against former President Donald Trump in the election this year. UAW officially endorsed Biden's re-election bid in January, a boost to the president who has labeled himself the most pro-union president in history.
There you go. Canada.
Donald Trump is considering tapping billionaire Elon Musk as a policy advisor if the Republican presidential candidate reclaims the White House in November's election, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the talks. The two have discussed ways for Musk, who runs the social media platform X, as well as SpaceX and Tesla, to have, quote, formal input and influence, end quote, over economic and border security policies, according to the Journal. So, tit for tat kind of thing.
There you go.
Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley on Thursday said many of the automaker's U.S. hybrid models have become more profitable than their gasoline-powered counterparts as interest in the technology grows and demand for electric vehicles lags expectations.
Oh.
Ford's U.S. hybrid sales have jumped 47% this year through April, and Farley said 1 out of every 4 F-150s sold today is a hybrid. I didn't know that. Did you know that,
either, no.
Mars?
No, I did not.
The automaker has said each of its North American nameplates will include a hybrid variant by the end of the decade. What year is this?
It's coming close. We got
2024. We got 6 more years to go. All right, fine. And I don't have time for that. It's too long. No, I don't want to do that. No, I got another minute. A marijuana dispensary owner
What?
who became the first Tesla Cybertruck owner in Maine says he didn't realize how much attention he'd be getting driving one of the most unusual-looking vehicles ever made. Travis Carter says he gets stared at, photographed, yelled at, brake-checked while tooling around Portland in the sharp-cornered stainless steel pickup. Some people ask questions about the truck. One person spat on it. But the reaction that he gets most often? The middle finger, he told the Portland Press-Herald. In passing, at red lights and people walking by, he gets the finger. Carter paid $100,000 for the Cybertruck in January and picked it up in New Jersey. And 4 months later, everybody was shooting him the finger.
Yeah, but they don't know what he does for a living. He owns a dispensary.
He does own a dispensary, so why would he care about anything?
Yeah.
We're going to close out today's show right after a quick break. We hope that you'll stay with us.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Loopy's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Loopy Tortilla. Loopy Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Real Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure to check out our website, InWheelTime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your friends, your car buds about us, and share our stuff with your friends. We'll keep you posted on the latest car stuff all week long. Hey, when you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. In Wheel Time Sales and Video Technical Director is We Need More Jeff Zekin. From booking agent, video editor, and brown water aficionado, Mike Out of This World Mars, and Chief Engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week, and we'll be broadcasting from the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run in Granbury, Texas, here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, June 8th, from 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.